Okay, we have Lila versus Trotter. Ooh, this is gonna be a good game. I don't know about Lila. I don't know how much I versed Lila. But I versed Trotter many times. Trotter's a good player. I know that for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I've played Lila at all, but I have played against Trotter a couple of times, and yeah, it's been great games. So
Yep.
let's see what happens.
Yeah, so Trotter has some secret sauce that he's usually working with. Or maybe not secret sauce, but for sure spicy Thames that he's using, which is amazing. It's always fun to watch. Oh, Luke. Okay, no, I versed Lila before.
Yeah, I guess from a casting standpoint, we want to see the craziest teams and things that we don't expect. That's definitely the makes
Looks
for
like
interesting games.
looks like they are in. Ooh,
All right, here we go.
we actually see a Luma Ukama coming out from Lila on his side, and we see it. We see the Tortonite coming in.
There it is. Yeah. And also Nidrasil, that'll be interesting. It's one you don't see that often.
I really like Trot's team though with this Naga. He has Naga Nid, Naga Tuvine, and Naga Mastodon, even Naga Tortonite. Because Tortonite has access to Stonewall.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I guess as far as attack moves go, Tortonite's got spikes, which is the 3 prio. But in terms of, it looks like Lila's thinking about banning
wait.
it.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna spectate Lila. 1 second. So that. There we go. There we go, guys. Now the scoreboard is correct.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we have Lila banning out the Nid. In my opinion, I think what they're going to try to do here, since they're banning out the Nid, is they're gonna make way for the Cerneef to come in, right? But I don't know if that is the smartest idea. Nid can also do a lot of damage to Kinu, and depending on the Barnchi, can threaten Barnchi in a way, but if Barnchi's on low stamina, then Nid will threaten it. If Barnchi has any stamina whatsoever to allow for Hypox or Tornado, then Nid might as well be dead, right? But yeah, that's also the point I was getting at though, is why would you set up Cerneef to win? Which is why I'm confused by this Nid ban. Why would you set up Cerneef to win when there's Master Hunter Cash on the other field?
And also, I mean, Tortonite is pretty decent against Cerneef as well with the Crystal Spikes, because Cerneef has low special defense unless it gets the Bush synergy.
Yeah, that is very true.
What Trotter's done here in counterbanning the Ukama is setting it up so he has virtually no counters to his fires.
I really like this because, yeah, you're right. If they pick Volphy, they pick Naga. And then a Meteor, or an Embers plus a Beta Burst followed up by another Embers and a Sizerge will definitely kill the Volphy. And then them picking Cerneef is very ballsy into here. Maybe trying to bait or to threaten out the Naga here. But the only thing I have against that is that Naga, when swapped out, still keeps the C aura on the field. So leading with Naga and swapping it out turn 1 is still a very good plan, honestly. Not letting that Naga take damage while still allowing it to threaten out certain threat, or letting the other slot threaten out and do damage to the threats on the field.
So I guess Lila here has picked Cerneef Vola, so to discourage the Naga lead. But yeah, like you say, Naga could just swap out. So I think
honestly, I kind of want to see. I would have liked to see a Naga. Maybe Tuvine would have been a little bit better there as a first pick. Actually, no, because they have Volphy on the other team, right? And Vlash. So that wouldn't have been good. So Trot probably making the best decision here to pick Tuvine, not wanting to give up tempo. But yeah. Oh yeah, there is no Volphy pick though. And Trot's team seems very weak to Volphy.
Yeah, I think it was a good choice in banning the Volphy there. And also, by picking Tuvine, if you think about it, Tuvine counters Volaran quite well. It counters Barnchi, and also Kinu. It can hit with a Crystal Plume Gatling. So
both
set
which
up so it
can
swing hard into everything pretty much.
Yeah,
Nothing
and
Crystal.
that's very true. And also Barnchi can threaten out the Bastion, right? Although Banshee has very low defense and HP pools, meaning that it will take a lot of damage from Bastion, if it's Air Specialist Banshee, it can deal upwards to 50% with Hypoxia. If
Yeah,
not
Banshee
more.
has such high special attack and can really force Bastion off the field before it even hits.
Yeah, right now I'm really liking Trot's pick, so we have both the Bastion and the Drakash, one of my favorite duos in the game right now. I love Drakash, I love Bastion, I love Rise, I love the Fires types right now. So seeing that pick from him just brings happiness to my heart.
I wonder what Trot will pick up as his last choice, because I'm seeing that, Tortonite's pretty good against, it hits into Banshee, but Banshee also hits into it, so we'll see how that goes.
I think, the fact that he picked Tortonite is really good, because it walls Cernif. If this is an aerobic Vola especially, that, depending on if Vola has HKS up, will depend on if the Tortonite's threatened out, right? If that Vola just used HKS and picked up a kill, that Tortonite comes in. If there's not a Banshee in that slot next to the Volaren, that Volaren is gonna need to leave the field. And then that sets up the scenario of when it comes back onto the field, that Volaren's not gonna have HKS up and probably is gonna die, right? That could have been the Volaren's last HKS.
Just gonna have a quick look at Tortonite's stats, because I'm wondering whether say a Crystal Spikes or a base speed Tortonite is faster than a Tornado from base speed Banshee. It actually looks like no, Tornado would be faster unless he's speed invested with his Tortonite.
Yeah, Tortonite's speed is 90 without any investment. So
I think Banshee's is like 111 or something a little bit higher.
It is a little higher. Crystal Spikes should outspeed a Hypoxia though. Depending on how much investment the Banshee has. We see a Water-Cutting Lily getting launched off by the Cernif right into that 2-Vine slot, doing about 30% damage, while a Feather Gatling goes into the Bastion. And it is an aerobic Vola, which is something that we have to keep watch for. Oh my gosh, Crystal Plume Gatling going into that Vola spot. Volaren getting taken down by a Crystal Plume Gatling plus Embers doubled up. That is a frail Volaren.
Just leaving the Cernif alone entirely, because I think most people might expect that he'd use Embers into Cernif, but now he set himself up for say a Meteor Swarm, and there's really nothing that can come in, I guess apart from Banshee, that could really threaten this Bastion. But then Banshee is at risk of getting hit by a Crystal Plume Gatling. So, yeah, lots of, I think that was a move on the part of Trotter.
That was an amazing move on the part of Trotter, and we are seeing that it is a Colossity Cernif. Look at the team of Trotter, and look at Colossity Cernif. That is not good for Lila.
No, not much. I guess the only things that hit with physical attack are on the field at the moment. If that Volaren is aerobic.
Yeah, but even if those are, let's say you have 3 physical attacks, right? That Tortonite and that Drakash are looking tasty, with the only thing that can buff up the Kinu's special defense being that Kinu. And Kinu does not want to be coming out on the field. None of these Tems want to be coming out on the field right now. Lila's in a very bad position right now, I think. Taking out that Vola, I think, was amazing by Trotter.
I mean, if you think about it from his position, the Vola is the only real threat to his team, because the Dialis has to get the hold off. The Tortonite's only threatened by the wind. So yeah, good move on the part of, or I guess a melee from Gialis would be super effective on Tortonite, but let's see what he decides to do this time.
Yeah, so I don't think a Double Gash plus Water-Cutting Lily will take out this 2-Vine, especially since there's no settling proc, right? So, right. I think it'll leave it around the 2-Vine around 5% health, maybe a little less. Allowing it to get, possibly, unless they want to save this, right? I don't see many good switch-ins, though, on Trot's side.
No, he can just use, Trotter can just click Meteor Swarm, and there's really nothing that can resist it.
Crystal Plume into the Gael spot, and Gaealis is going to be taken down to either dead or very close to dead. Oh, wait, but if the Gaealis has War Drums, then Cernif plus Double Gash will probably kill.
Yeah, I think that would be close, because Double Gash would have to do Yeah, I guess it would probably do around 30 to 40%. So yeah, we might see two vines swap out here.
Yep. I'm expecting maybe into a Voloran. I don't really want to see. No. Oh. What if we see a Tortonite switch in and then we see Cage next turn? Oh.
I mean, yeah, I guess the Tortonite's going to resist it's going to resist the Water Cutting Lily, but it will get hit by Double Gash. But then, yeah, I guess Cage would also make it so that Kialis would probably die to Crystal Spikes before it could use Hook Kick on Tortonite.
Yeah, exactly. And Giles dying to Crystal Spikes means that even though, let's say they trade Tortonite for Gialis, right? I think that's a fine trade in the point of, or in the essence of, they still have Tuvine in the back for Barnchi. They still have so many things in the back for Barnchi, especially if that's an anaerobic Voloran.
And also, I mean, Fire hits normal into Barnchi as well. So, I mean, Durkash could also do some serious damage.
Yep, that's very true. Especially if that's not a neutrality Barnchi, that Barnchi will be doing 30% less damage with that burn tick. Oh, also another tragedy coming up. Ooh, we see Water Lily actually going out to Mastion and double gashing to Mastion, possibly thinking that they're going to switch out that Tuvine. That guy else does not even have a War Drum on it, though, sadly. Mastion stays in, so does the Tuvine. We see a Meteor Swarm come down. Guy gets taken down to 1.4% health. We do, indeed, see that Colossi proc coming out from Cernif, though. But I don't think that Colossi proc's going to be doing much when it's at 50% health, and they can Bush next turn, but that can be easily read, right? Tuvine even has Tornado online, meaning that if the guy Alice goes for a one prio move, right? Tuvine will most likely be outspeeding it, depending on how fast that guy Alice is.
And see, this situation right here is exactly why I run Peck on Tuvine.
Oh, you want a little robot there. Oh wait, you're good now.
Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
So yeah, I really like Peck on Tuvine because it's an ultra priority, or well, it's 4 priority or whatever the one is that hits at 1.75%. It's such a good move to have to just get those last chips of damage.
Honestly, I might run Peck and Tornado on Tuvine, just because that last slot isn't very needed on Tuvine, I feel like, anymore.
No, it really isn't. I mean, I rarely, like, for a while I was trying Diamond Fort when I was running him with Naga, because it does Diamond Fort, with Naga is really good because it's at max, it's really fast.
Ooh. Yeah.
All right.
So we see the Kinyu swapping in. Yep, Guile swapping out. We see the buff going out on the Cernif and a Revitalize on it too. Thing is though, I'm very scared for a possible Flaming Meteorite. If he clicks Flaming Meteorite, this Cernif might be going down here. Let's see. How much damage does it do? It brings it down to 30% from about 75 if I remember correctly. So that 40% health will be proccing the Colossi. I don't think he has to worry about the Colossi procs very much though, because he does have 2 special attackers in the back. One in which Cernif can barely touch. So honestly, what I would like to see Trot coming out, because I'm seeing a possible Hypnosis coming out here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't think he wants to tank a Water Cutting Lily on the Drakash, right? So what if we saw Drakash swap into this Mastion slot, and Tuvine stay on the field, lighting off a Crystal Plume Gatling into the Kinyu slot, right? That means that Tuvine cannot die this turn for once, and it cannot be slept. And that's exactly what we see coming out. Do we see we see Bush coming out from the Cernif? Do we see the Kinyu clicking Hypnosis though? We see Kinyu clicking Hypnosis, and we see that Sentinel coming up, and let's see that Kinyu drop like it's hot. Ooh, baby. Crystal Plume Gatling coming down to Kinyu, dropping it down to 0.
But keeping in mind that he did need to overexert, I think, to use that move, so...
Yep, he did overexert.
Attack again. Yep.
But, now he has a Drakash with a 3 Prio Hellfire with a Mastion in the back. Nothing on Lila's team wants to be tanking this, especially since Cernif just used Bush. Nothing wants to be tanking this.
I think it's a pretty much shoe-in move for Trotter to swap in Bastion for 2 Vine and use Hellfire.
Are we gonna see a 5-0? Are we gonna see a 5-0 from our boy Trot? If we do, this is gonna be one hell of a game to start us off with.
I think that this game, you know, Trotter being on orange side and also the ban phase ended up really bad for Lila because of a lot of the fires that got through and really nothing to resist them.
Yep. So also we have a thing here where Barnshee doesn't have any 3 prio moves up. Something dies this turn, and I'm guessing that Trot's Drakash, because most Drakashs run at least 131 speed, so that Hellfire outspeeds all 2 prio moves, right? So something is dying here, and that thing will be the Gaialis. If this is an Air Specialist Barnshee also, it will be doing 30% less damage for the next 2 attacks. So let's see, we see the Mastion swapping in here, and let's see this Hellfire, baby. Hellfire coming out, taking down that Gaialis, and bringing that Barnshee down to 63.1% and putting that 2 burn on them since it's Air Specialist. Windburst coming out, only doing 24.5%. Not a whole bunch of damage for Air Specialist Barnshee with Hand Fan. And yes, it was double spins Drakash, but still.
I mean, the move might have been for Lila's side to use Hypoxia into the 2 Vine slot, thinking that Mastion might come in, because then that probably would have killed Mastion, even with the burn.
Yeah, I think you're right. And now we have a Fire Nado that can come down from Drakash, although I think Drakash dies here if it stays in. Because we do have the Water Cutting Lily double up, but I think Drakash stays in. Reason is because in order to kill Drakash, they have to double up on it. So, yeah. If they do that, though...
You get a free Meteor Swarm as well.
Yes, exactly. Which is why I think the move here is, even if you don't get the 5-0, you still you still win the game, right? It just solidifies your win. I honestly don't know if a Water Cutting Lily will kill here now, because that Tornado did only 35%. Let's see, Water Cutting Lily coming out from the Cerneath.
I think
onto the Drakash. Drakash lives with 1.2% health. Fire Nado coming out onto the Cerneath, taking it down to 0, and let's see if this Barnshee goes down. We see a Meteor Swarm coming out, 76 base power onto that Barnshee, and where we see the 5-0, we indeed see the 5-0. Ooh, that is one hell of a game to start us off with. That is one hell of a game.
I love the synergy between Drakash and Mastion. It's just such a good thing to have in this game, and I really like Drakash's attempt. It's such a unique with the special attack fire. It's such a good attempt to have, and I think it'll see a lot of play in this meta.
Yep, I love it. That Drakash is one of the only reasons why I got to top 4 in Roadhouse Rumble, if I'm being honest. That Tem carried me big time. So the score is 0-1 PDX. That was one hell of a game to start off with. That just made me so hyped. Honestly, I think the way to go is keep Trot in. Reason is because Trot seemed to be on a roll. He seemed to be playing out of his mind completely. And yeah. I just think it's amazing.
So many clutch moves, and also I think from the start that was a difficult matchup for Lila, running into double fire and not banning either of them.
Yeah.
And leading Cerneath, I think, was a risky play, especially with Velocity. It's not like it's a settling one that you can establish very early on with the bush synergy and all the buffs and stuff. I think it's definitely a risky play to lead Cerneath into double fire.
Yeah, that's very true. Leading Cerneath into that, I think, was a very risky move. Let us see. Could you check in the chat to see who's gonna be going next?
Yep, I can have a look. I don't think they've announced it yet.
Okay.
They haven't announced it, so we'll know soon, I think. So this time, let's see. This time PDX will be on blue side, I assume, because the losing team of the previous match gets to choose who invites.
Yep. Okay, so they have 2 minutes to submit their next players. So, well, if Trot keeps that up, then we're gonna see one hell of a domination from PDX. But I don't think, like, even though Trot's an amazing player, don't get me wrong, but keeping up the playstyle that he was doing, right? Just like how he was making all these reads and stuff, then I don't think he'd be able to keep that up. So we could be seeing a swap here coming in, but I don't think. I think the move would be keep him in. He's on a roll. It seems he dominated that pick and ban phase, right? So I think the best idea would be to keep him in, but who knows? They definitely know Trot better than I do, even though I talk to him a good amount. But PDX knows their club mates better, so they know what's best, and we'll see what happens.
It looks like they've actually announced the 2 players that are playing, and neither of them is Trot, so they've decided to take him out. So it looks like we're going to see Karth versus Grothos this next game.
We will be spectating Karth since I want the scoreboard to look good. We have the Yep Man himself, Karth. Okay, so there we go. They're in game.
I will pop on and spectate. Let's see.
Karth and Grothos. Okay, let's see who takes him out. Karth on orange side, Grothos on blue side. So yeah. Who is Grothos? Grothos is a new addition to the PDX roster, I believe. Oh, and we see Karth running a good old Wind. Even though this team destroyed me on ladder, like that was the reason why I dropped 500 TMR from 1930. I don't think it's the most viable team, to be honest. I don't think Wind is the most viable, but hey, if Karth proves me wrong and goes 5-0 here, then I'll be a believer, okay? But I don't 100% think that Wind is. I think there's just other teams that do what Wind does better. Wind was a hyper offensive setup team, right? It wasn't hyper offensive, but it was cold and calculated. But late game it was hyper offensive, right? Because all it wanted to do was attack and hypno. But I think there are just better teams that do that. And also, I think that if you ban out Paharek Grandpa, if you ban out
Grandpa, yeah.
Paharek does not look too good anymore.
But it looks like he's banned Volarend here, so let's see what Karth decides to ban in response.
Well, knowing Karth, he'll probably ban Kinu. But actually, Kinu does look like a pretty good ban, or Volarend. Volarend also looks like a pretty good ban for Karth, especially if this is anaerobic, right?
Yeah, I guess not knowing what the anaerobic is it's pretty relevant in this stage, because if you know it's aerobic, you probably wouldn't ban it. But if you don't know, you might assume it might be anaerobic, which could be really bad for Karth, seeing as he has 1 physical attacker.
Yeah, that's very true. And he has 2 technically. Rise has Embers.
Oh, it's true.
And that burn damage late game can whittle down an anaerobic Volarend.
That is true.
Yeah. So we see the Kinu ban coming out from Karth.
So let's see what he decides to pick. So, I mean, it looks like, Wind isn't particularly great into Grothos' team, but there's nothing that really hits Wind with super effective damage. He doesn't have any electrics or anything, so I think that we might see Lowali. The only thing that really hurts Lowali badly is Volarend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, leading with Paharek.
Yeah, he's leading Paharek, meaning that we're probably going to see the Grandpa pick also, so that he can double turbo turn 2.
I mean, it's interesting that he would lead with Paharok because you think that he would lead Grandpa first, because then it gives him more options if he decides to go with something else instead.
Yeah, no,
'Cause
that's
now,
very true. I
if he
think
picks Lawali, then Grothos can just ban Grandpa, which makes Paharok less effective.
that's very true. I think that this is the Grothos picked the perfect opener. I think to punish this water cannon from Mukama plus Noxious Bomb from Voloran, which I'm guessing this is anaerobic, will destroy this Grandpa. Or no, wait, which one gets the camaraderie buff? It's Paharic that gets it, right?
Paharok does, yeah. So
Okay.
you would focus Grandpa first, I think.
Yep, I Grandpa
Your
will
threat.
take so much damage from this, and there isn't really a switch in on Karth's side to a Noxious Bomb plus water cannon.
No, there isn't. I mean, the only thing might be Gaialis, but by
Or
leading with
well,
Volt
Kinu I
here,
think
he's-
would be the no. Kinu wouldn't be a switch in. What am I talking about? Yeah, I do think a Kinu ban would still be good here. But because he has many things to deal with the Gaialis, oh, he bans Lawali, possibly trying to set up for his Cerneef. I think that might be a bit greedy though, because I
feel
don't
like
think
that
Cerneef
in
does
this
very
case,
well into this.
if your Volarend is anaerobic, then I would have definitely banned Gaialis because it's the only thing that threatens it, and you can just leave it on the field the entire game and just Noxious Bomb, Toxic Plume, for days.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, also Rise would have also been a decent second ban because it threatens the Cerneef and the Tuvine and Gaialis. So
Yep, that's true. What's
Rise actually pretty decent on Karth's side, apart from the Ukama that threatens it.
Yeah, that's true, and Volfi. But usually, I'm not gonna say what item is on this Rise if he hasn't changed it, but it screwed me over in one of our games, and yeah, that item could come in clutch against Grothos' team. But yeah, I think
I don't think there's any world where he picks Whiplump. I think it's got to be Rise.
it's got to be Rise. I don't think there's a world where he picks Whippump either. He has two natures on Grothos' side plus a Volorend. Yeah, he picks Rise. Okay, so now we have this Grandpa. I don't think he survives to turn 3. To be honest, yeah, they can have if they try a double turbo turn 2, right? That's just not gonna work. Yeah.
I mean, he might survive the Noxious Bomb Water Cannon, but it's going to do a lot of damage.
I think he will too, but it's gonna force him to switch out. I think. If we see Kinu coming in here, Kinu's gonna take a lot of damage. If we see Gaialis coming in here, Gaialis gonna take a lot of damage. So we have a Grandpa Windburst and then also a Paharic Windburst, taking this Ukama down to 54%. But this
and there was also,
water
also
cannon.
a snare on Ukama.
Oh, there was. Ooh.
Yeah, so whatever Grandpa had is now snared.
Yes, this Noxious Bomb water cannon bringing it down to 34%. After poison ticks, that will leave it at 14%. Or 11%, sorry. Yeah,
And
there's...
so we also saw that the Grandpa and Paharek are faster than the Ukama.
That's true, but now Ukama has access to Aquatic Whirlwind. And
But
so...
those have access to Tornado.
Oh,
Or, I
yeah,
don't know,
Tornado or Hyperconnect
I don't know
Strike.
if Paharek
Right.
has Tornado, to be honest, but yeah, they have 3 prio moves as
Yeah,
well.
you're right. I completely forgot about that. Or Willpower Drain, or anything. Oh
Is
crap,
Willpower
my
Drain
mic is
2
funky?
hold or 1 hold?
Wait, hold up. Is my mic, Hey, does anyone else hear my mic cutting out by any chance? Okay. I don't see anyone else so far. You hear it fine? Okay, God of Despair, that might be your issue. That might be on your end. Okay. Sorry for interrupting you, Heron.
No, it's okay. So yeah, it looks like they could do Willpower Drain, but then it's sacrificing the Grandpa. I feel like if they want to push the Sukama off the field, they have to use 3 prio moves into it, which means they can't double Hypno.
Yeah, your voice is going a little robot, Heron.
Oh, sorry. I think it's my mic.
Okay.
It's,
So yeah, that's true. And also, we see this Volorend as anaerobic, so that could be very bad for Karth's team. There being only 2 physical attackers, and two of those physical attackers can get, or both of those physical attackers can get brought down pretty easily by either Cerny or Volfi or both. So we see Karth switching out the Grandpa, switching in the Kinu, trying to tank something there, meaning that they will not be able to kill the Sukama. But the Q buff going on, or Q protected buff going on the Paharak, and we see a turbo coming out from the Ukama, trying to buff up that Volorant as much as they can. We actually see an HAS, surprisingly enough, onto that Kinu, bringing it down to 67% or 69%. Hypno going off on the Vola, but the Vola already attacked, and it being on low stamina meaning that it was probably going to rest anyway.
I think that's why we saw HKS that turn instead of Noxious Bomb.
Yes, very good read out from Grothos.
But
Yeah,
great part of Ukama using the turbo, I think, is going to be really clutch this game, especially having that anaerobic Volarend with +2 speed could really spell trouble for Karth in the next few turns.
Yeah, that's true. With this Ukama outspeeding the Paharak, there's nothing that wants to switch into a water cannon either, and you don't want Paharak taking a water cannon. It's going to take at least 30 to 40% plus the poison ticks. And yeah, Kinu might get a turbo off here, but at what cost, right?
Here we go.
Yep, we see water cannon going with Paharak, taking 30%, doing the poison ticks, and we see a turbo choreography coming out from Paharak, and probably seeing one coming out from Kinu also, bringing up Paharak to 3 prio, or +3 speed. Now, this Paharak's already at 56%, which I would not like if I was Karth. Paharak does not have the bully trait, so I don't think it kills Ukama, to be honest, depending on how bulky this Ukama is.
I don't think it would die to a hyperkinetic here.
I don't think it would either. Like, it's going to do a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but Paharak doesn't have as high special attack stat or as high speed stat as Grandpa. Still high, but not the highest, right? So I'm seeing possibly, maybe we see a Quack Whirlwind and a Noxious Bomb come out here. I think that'd be good. Or probably the smarter play would be bringing out Ukama, right? Keeping that Ukama for late game. Yep, bringing in Tuvine would be a very good play. And yeah, I think Tuvine would be the best option here, like you said, because then we tank the HKS, right? And then it just threatens out Kinu. Keep threatening out Kinu. Well, Kinu does have Hypno though, so we have to keep that in mind.
I think if Volarend goes Noxious Bomb into the Kinu slot and bring in Tuvine, then next turn, if he brings in Gaialis, then you can Toxic Bloom and lower the Gaialis' attack.
Oh yeah, we have a +2 Volarend also. Also, Heron, your voice is still a little robot-y. I don't know. Are you spectating the matches in-game?
I am, yeah. So maybe it's slowing down the... Yeah, I mean,
well,
my computer's the best, so...
Yeah. So just go to Discord then and watch it there. Okay, so we see an HAS coming out for Herrick. We do not see the Ukama swap out. Ooh, wow, HAS does kill the Ukama. Very surprised. You can hear Heron fine? Really? Heron, are you there? We see a Noxious Bomb.
So,
okay, you are.
I just closed out of my game, so maybe that might help. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it does help.
Okay. So yeah, I think definitely the move there would have been to bring in Tuvine, but that's okay. I think we could still bring in Tuvine now with virtually nothing to threaten it.
Yeah. Actually, Heron, do you know I think what it might be? Oh, wait, Heron is robotic for sure. Oh, they still hear your robotic voice. Maybe what it is that I'm streaming to you on Discord.
That could be it.
So maybe go back in game.
I'll is that any better?
Yeah, that is better.
Okay. So I think I stopped watching your stream, and that was when it got better. So what I'll do is just I'll hop on to him and spectate there.
Yeah, okay. I'll end my stream on Discord then.
Cool.
Okay.
So okay, cool.
Yep. So yeah, we can see a Hypno come out here because the one thing I do not like though on Karth's side is that Kinu's is very low now. Bringing in a Tuvine or something like that, they can double Hypno though, which is very good for Karth, right? So yeah.
Well, Tuvine might also have energy drink. We don't really know what item he's running, so that's quite a common item to have on Tuvine. So we'll see if he does indeed have energy drink.
Yeah, but given Grotho's team, I think Wardrum Tuvine might be the
Right, he's got a lot of physical attackers.
yeah, exactly. So this is where this team can get annoying, right? Even though they're at +3 speed, they have Hypno priority, yeah? So that's where the team gets annoying, but you have to also take in consideration Kinu only has so much stamina. And one Revitalize off on this Kinu is not going to save it from death.
If I were Grothos here, I think I would just click Toxic Plume, just in case he decides to not Hypno or swap in.
Oh no, do you know what he clicks? He clicks HAS. He could actually. I don't know if that's the right idea. But HAS effectively makes him +4 speed. We see Rise coming out, lowering the speed of this Volaran, not the Tuvine because of the Determined trait. We see Hypnosis coming out from onto the Volaran from the Paharek.
Yeah, so it looks like he didn't use HKS that turn. I don't think it would have outsped, or I think it may have outsped the Paharek's Hypnosis.
Yeah. So now we see Crystal Plume Gatling, which I do not 100% agree with. I think a Feather Gatling would have been better there. Just because it would have finished off the Grandpa, it would have finished off the Kinu. It would have done enough damage to the Gaialis. And it would have done more damage to the Rise. Hey, Heron, your voice is still a little robot. So maybe try unplugging your mic and plugging it back in. That might help a little. Yeah, your voice is still a little robotic, Heron.
Is that any better?
Talk again?
Can you guys hear me okay? Is that any better?
Yeah, it's a little better.
I think it's probably my computer.
Oh, never mind. Oh, there we go. Now it's better. Bit quiet now, but sounds okay. We'll Heron, can you talk real quick?
Yeah, I can talk. Is that all right, you guys?
Okay, I'll turn you up just a little bit. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, so Heron, talk about what you think the position Karth's in right now.
So it's a bit tricky, but he's got. I think we're probably going to see a fire move going on to Tuvine. I would leave Volarend in. I think if I were him, just rest it and let it do its thing. You could bring in. I don't know. The Rise is pretty threatening to this Tuvine. There's not much on Grothos' team that deals really well with Rise, but maybe bringing Volfi in for the Tuvine might allow him to. Oh, he decides to swap Volarend out. Let's see. Okay, so he's brought Volfi in for Volarend.
Yep, bringing in Volfi, and also someone mentioned this is probably because we are connecting from like almost the opposite sides of the world. So yeah. But yeah, so we see Crystal Plume Gatling coming on the Paharek, doing a decent amount of damage despite being at +1. And now this Paharek can only Hypno one slot. So honestly, what they could do, oh yeah, we did see the Rise go before the Tuvine, meaning that damage was 30% less than it should have been, right? That was actually a decent amount.
Yeah, even with the burn.
Yeah, so ooh, this is not a good swap. This is not a good turn for Karth, because if they don't sleep so actually Race has Fire Nado up. That's one thing for sure. But if they do not sleep the Volfi, then Volfi does a lot of damage to the Rise slot, or gets a kill, one of the two, right? So I think they have to swap out Grothos has to swap out Tuvine here, and then that allows Karth to Hypno the Volfi, right?
Yeah, I think what he'll do is swap in Volarend for Tuvine to eat the Fire Nado with +2 special defense.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see what happens here.
Right.
And we don't see any swaps, actually. We see the Hypnosis going off on the Volfi.
Wow, so he left Tuvine in. Okay.
I don't agree with that play unless this Tuvine tanks a Fire Nado, which I doubt it does. Yeah, Tuvine goes down here.
I think it would have been definitely better to swap Tuvine out.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know. I think Grothos might have is now fighting an uphill battle because of that play. Grothos was definitely in a better position, but
maybe he didn't consider the Hypnosis going on to Volfi. Maybe he thought maybe either Hypnosis wasn't up or something, but it definitely was. It definitely put Karth in a really good position. Even with, I think what was such a, like, at bans maybe such a disadvantage that Karth had against this team. I think now he's got a commanding lead. So we'll see what happens.
I think so too. The only saving grace that Grothos really has here is that his Volrun's anaerobic, but that Gaialis, we're probably going to see Gaialis come in right here. Yep, we do see Gaialis come in right here for the Paharic. And what do we see? We see Noxious Bomb going off from the Volrun onto the Gaialis spot, bringing it down to 86%, so just a little bit of chip. But we see a King's Roar come out onto the Volrun, decreasing its attack, which is going to be very crippling for the Volrun. So now what he has to do here is he kind of has to hope that Volfi KOs the Gaialis and does not get KO'd by outspeeds Rise, doesn't get KO'd by Hook Kick. He has to have had calc that, I think. And Dust Vortex kills the Gaialis.
I mean, he could Dust Vortex Hyperkinetic onto Gaialis, and that would outspeed a Hook Kick. Well, no, the Dust Vortex wouldn't actually. So yeah, I think that Gaialis is going to get a move off. It just depends. Let's see whether he decides to put it on Volrend or onto Volfi.
Yep. And also, Rise gets a Roar off here also. Oh, never mind. Rise actually swaps out. So Kinu comes in, putting the projector buff on that Gaialis, so Gaialis will not die from a double up most likely. We actually see a Bush come out from Volfi, possibly protecting him from a Hook Kick. And the Hook Kick does come out, a very good play by Grothos, showing that he is not out of this game yet. And bringing the Noxious Bomb right on that Kinu, finishing it off while still getting an anaerobic proc. But one thing I'm afraid of now is, oh no, he doesn't really have a switch into Dust Vortex or Plague plus Noxious Bomb, does he? I think that read might have just brought Grothos back in the game. But Karth does get a swap into Rise here, which could spell problems for the Volfi, depending on how fast this Volfi is. If this Volfi is a tanky Volfi, then the speed down won't really matter much, right?
I guess if he brings in Rise, then you have to choose which slot you want to use Dust Vortex on. And if Karth predicts it properly, then he could swap in Paharak to tank the Dust Vortex.
That's true. But you have to also consider, right? Volrun has Noxious Bomb, which does have about 24%, 23% to the Paharic, right? At +1. So, and Paharic isn't at that high of health, and no Kinu to heal it back up, so Paharic isn't really going to want to be taking those Noxious Bomb. But wait, never mind. Volrun is at -1 attack, so that does put Karth in a better position.
I think that Karth could do, like, say Grothos, say Karth brings in Rise. What Grothos could do is swap Volrend out, bring in Cernif, just try to use the Dust Vortex on Rise to force it out, and then you've got Cernif to deal damage to this Gaialis, save your Volrend until the end of the game where it can basically sweep against Maharak and Grandpa. But the Gaialis being in right now is threatening Volrend at the moment.
So we actually see Paharak come in.
We'll see a Crystal Bite is going to go into the Volrend slot.
Yeah, or we see a Double Gash plus HKS go into the Volfi slot. Because this Paharak has no Hypno up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only move he can really do is to HKS into Volfi, which is still going to hit really hard into Cernif if Grothos decides to swap out.
Yeah, I don't think a swap is the right move here. I think he just has to have trust in his Volphy spread. And oh wait, no, his Volphy. Oh yeah, his Volphy will definitely underspeed the Gaialis, right? So he just has to have trust in his Volphy spread. HKS does. Oh no, he misread.
He thought that Hypno was up.
He thought Hypno was up. He thought Hypno was up. That just lost him the game, I think.
Yeah, I think that if I mean, Volphy still might have died to a double gash anyway, from Gaialis.
Based on how bulky the Volphy, or how well that Volphy took the HKS, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think the only way to get a move off with Volphy that turn would have been to use Plague, unfortunately, because the Dust Vortex is going to get outsped by Gaialis' double gash. And a Hypno on Cernif, yeah, so now is just draw out and hit this Bowler End with Crystal Bite. It's
Yeah, that's a GG. I think Grothos made a lot of good plays, but more bad plays. Not bad plays, but misplays, I would say. He played well, very well still, though.
Yeah, I think what it was not that he... I don't know, and I do this all the time, it's not that he played badly, it's that you think, oh, he wouldn't do that because that seems too obvious, so I'll leave Tuvine into a Fire Tornado, so those kind of moves where you overanalyze what's going to happen, and you neglect the most obvious play that could possibly be made. So,
but the thing is, though, is that I wouldn't even call it over predicting, right? Because Fire Tornado was still the Rise's best button to click there, no matter what. He could have clicked Roar, I guess. But I think at that point, it isn't really considered a misplay. It is considered or not considered an overpredict. It's considered a misplay at that point, I think.
I see what you mean. I think that it's too risky to leave, especially if your Tuvine is like his was, where it's going to get one shot. I think or almost one shot. I think it was like on 80%. But yeah, Tuvine was such a valuable asset to hold on to until later in the game, especially for the Toxic Plume synergy with a fast Volar End to bring down the Gaialis' attack. I think that the move there would have definitely been to swap out.
I 100% agree with you. Yep.
There were a few turns this game that I think turned the tide, and that was one of them. And the other one was when he left Ukama in to the Hyperkinetic Strike and could have swapped, say, Tuvine in to eat that Hyperkinetic and continue to deal damage with Volar End. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, there's absolutely no way the Cernif can kill this Rise, especially since Cernif has Roar and etc.
Yeah, Rise looks like he's conceded. So Karth clinching that one for Yep. So now we've got a 1-1 on the scoreboard, and yeah, we'll see whether Yep decides to leave Karth in or whether Paradox wants to swap their previous player back in.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see who PDX picks. I don't know if Trot would be the best idea, just cause Trot does have Naga though, but Naga gets insta banned against Karth's team, right?
Yeah, and I think from what I remember, I think that that Trot a few of his stems are weak to wind. Did he have a Nidrasil, or was it the other person?
I know he has a Torchonite. Everyone knows he has a Torchonite.
Right.
Tiki, I did not say I was giving out 100k for the right prediction. But yeah. And also, Golden bringing up a good point. He does have Drakash for Hypno. Yes, you are 100% right. And Drakash can tank HKSs decently well.
My Drakash does not tank HKS very well. My Drakash is like pretty much max speed, max special attack. I was so sick of not sped by Gaialis. I was just like, all right, I'm making this thing fast.
Now,
Farthing hit my hook kick.
Farthing says Drakband means Mach as for Trot. versus that. I don't agree with you because he has Ukama
He's
plus
he still has Naga. Yeah.
yeah, he has Naga, and also he has Ukama plus whatchamacallit. Fuck. What is it? Ukama plus Tortonite. There we go. And that would obliterate the Grandpa plus Baharic lead. I think one of the misplays though, bringing up Ukama, was letting that Ukama go down. I think with Ukama's Aquatic Whirlwind, that could have made it way better. Like that could have made the game a lot better. Oh, Prodi versus Arkham Knight is what we have. Ooh, this is gonna be a good game, I think.
Yeah, this is good from a casting standpoint too, because we see lots of new players and it's not the same teams. So yeah, we get to speculate a lot on what.
Prodi's still never ever playing ranked though. SMH. Okay, they are not in the game yet. Yep, we'll be inviting, so Arkham will have orange side.
I think it's kind of unfortunate that it's like as soon as we know who's invited, or as soon as we know who gets to choose who invites, they always choose orange. I think that's something that hopefully is addressed in the future.
Well, they said they are looking into it, which is really nice. So hopefully it'll be, hey, my team actually works better on orange side than blue side. Which some teams do work on better on blue side, but 99% of teams work better on orange side at the moment. So once that, and that's not a reason for team. That's not fault of team building. That's fault of pick and ban phase, right? So once pick and ban phase is fixed, then team building, you can say, hey, I'm better on blue side, blah blah blah, right?
Okay. It looks like they're in the game now, so I'm just gonna spectate pro. Yeah.
Awesome. Arkham Knight versus Prodi. This is gonna be a good one. Okay, Arkham, thanks for using my old team. No, this isn't my old team. Instead of Mix, I have Naga. But yep, we see the Doom team coming out from Prodi, baby.
Yeah, so he's got Vulor. Yeah.
Yep, he's got Bowler, he's got Pocus, he's got Capire.
Yep. It's interesting to see Doom in this meta. I mean, like, I love Doom, of course, but I just feel like there's so many things, like especially with Arkham Knight's team, he's got Cernif with the Bush, and Wolfie also knows Bush that can push the status condition off, and I feel like that is something that I would like to see addressed in the future. I would like to see them add the possibility to have 3 status conditions, because it would make Doom viable again.
That's true. I don't know if making 3 status conditions is the best for that. Oh, it could be. I think they'd have to rework a lot of things if they did decide to do that.
I kind of like how Doom is a counter to really hardcore stall teams. It's really good to deal with these teams that just buff their Tems up to ridiculous levels. I think it's a good counter to that playstyle.
Yeah, you have a good point. So, I forgot to mention, Prodi does indeed ban the Wolfie, which we see him banning a lot, it seems. Probably because of that Bush.
I think that's an auto ban on for any Doom team, because, again, Extinction doesn't even hit Wolfie.
That's true.
Because of the Team Elusive trait.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And also the fact that Wolfie can target their own allies with Plague and take off the Doom.
Right.
So, like, that's a huge thing. One thing that's looking really good into Prodi's team, though, is the Cernif. Like, yes, he has Mushuk possibly with Tenderness, but Cernif looking kind of fire. Yeah, you do have Capire, but I don't know.
Oh, Naga Pig Epic. Okay.
Naga Pig Epic, a very strong lead right now. Very strong. But, ooh, yikes. Arkham counter picks up the Grump. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Prodi might have forgotten about the Grumper. Grumper Cernif lead, also a very strong lead when it goes into a Naga. That better be a 39 SV Grumper, though.
Yeah, we'll see if it's a slow grumper, but yeah, because I think the classic opener with Naga Pig is bamboozle the Naga, then turn 2 use relax and madness buff,
Yep.
but grumper kind of shuts that whole plan down.
Yeah, and if honestly, from Arkham Knight, I kind of would have liked a Mushuk ban actually. Reason is because then he has no switch-ins to Grumper, Cernif. But that's just me. That's just my playstyle.
I think grumper is a very underrated tem. I think it has so much potential.
Oh no, Grumper is not underrated. People are very hyping it up. I think it's perfectly like rated because a lot of people are liking
rated.
Grumper now. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe it's made a comeback on the overall hype level because it does deserve a bit of recognition.
Yeah, I really like Grumper. Not as much as Drakash, but I do like Grumper.
Looks like he's going to pick Volarend and possibly Rise. Cash?
Ooh, will we see? I don't know how I feel about. I kind of like. Ooh, does Arkham have Sacrifice on Keen? That's also a question.
That would be ideal against a Doom team. But looking at the rest of Arkham's team, he doesn't. Like, if he were running Valash, I would think, oh, maybe he's got Sacrifice, but I don't know if he will have Sacrifice with the other Tems that he has on his team.
I don't think he would either. I think he would have Revitalize, Beta Burst, Stonewall, especially, and
either Hypnosis. Or Turbo.
I would say Hypno.
Yeah, I mean he's only got 1 wind, so yeah, probably doesn't have Turbo.
So Prodi has his last pick here. It's hard to say what Tem is the better one here. And he goes with the Volor, probably because he doesn't want to get struck down by a Thunderstrike with... I think he wants another switch into Thunderstrike, right? If he brought that Pocus, he would have had no really good switch-ins to Thunderstrike. Like, he has neutral switch-ins, but nothing that resists that Thunderstrike, truly.
Although, one thing to keep in mind is that Vulor does take 1x damage from a Water Cutting Lily. So we'll see if, if Prodi decides to double up into the Naga slot.
Yeah, I think he will, just because if that's not a 39 SV speed rise... No, even if it is not a 39 SV speed rise, right? It's still gonna underspeed this Pig Epic, unless this is a min speed Pig Epic.
Imagine that.
Oh my gosh, what if it is?
I mean, that would be such a good thing to have on Prodi's team.
It would be. Slow Bamboozle is so good right now.
I guess it is dependent on Naga getting through, though. If they ban Naga, then all of a sudden Pig Epic is not that great, if it's 1 SV.
But is it? Because if it's running Relax, Stonewall, and Bamboozle, Slow Bamboozle's really good right now. Stonewall doesn't matter, and Relax doesn't matter, right? So I think a min SV speed Pig Epic might 100% be fine.
It would be good, but it's still... I mean, Naga's still going to get hard in this position with a...
Oh, yeah, true. Because even if it blocks the Grumper, right, then Cernif is going to hit it hard with this Wuckle. Yeah, Water Cutting Lily. So... I
think one thing we're likely to see is for Prodi to swap Naga out into Vulor, the Thunderstrike to do half damage, and then the Bamboozle to block a Water Cutting Lily hitting Vulor. That's what I think will probably happen this turn.
Yeah, you're right. So we do see the Naga swapping out into Kapire, actually. Probably not wanting to get hit by this Water Cutting Lily very hard. We see a double swap, actually, into Volor. So we have 2 Fire-type Tems right on the field. Thunderstrike coming out into the Kapire. Bringing it down from 100 to 70, doing a decent amount. And Water Cutting Lily also coming out.
Yeah.
Onto the Volor, actually.
Wow.
Probably saying, hey, you know what? If that Bamboozle goes up, I don't care. I'm gonna kill the Naga anyway. So I'm just gonna attack this Pig Epic slot. Now, they still have one more turn, I believe, until they get...
can't extinction this turn. Yep.
Yeah.
So, leaving Grumper on the field in this... I mean, Vulor has access to Stone Ball, so that could hurt, but it's going to hit at half priority, so Grumper will be able to go first. So he could use Mud Shower onto either of these Tems to do super effective damage.
And Volor does not have very good special defense, right? Just like Volcarine. So I think a double up could do a lot of damage because we see a Water Cutting Lily doing about 27%, right? 26%. And another 26% because I believe Arkham's was settling, if I remember correctly. On top of Mud Shower damage from Grumper, because Grumper's special attack's pretty high. I think we could see this Volor be brought down to below 20%.
Yeah, I feel like the play here. I mean, you have to think if you're Arkham Knight, you have to think that this Cernif is threatened, unless he decides to heat up with Catfire. But more likely, I think that he might attack into Cernif with a fire move. You could swap in Drakash here for Cernif and use Mud Shower on Vulor, essentially threatening it. But then leave Catfire at high health to
exactly
use Extinction.
Yeah, so, and that also brings up the point that Grumper can't really get brought low here with a Naga on the enemy side, right?
No, that's true. Yeah, you want to keep Grumper in there to... Let's see if he decides to use Mud Shower on Vulor. I know he's swapping it out.
Double swap. Into Big Epic. Interesting.
To resist, that would make sense, to resist the Mud Shower.
So you see Watercut and Lily coming out from the Cernif. Onto the Big Epic slot. Bringing it down to 74%. And Grumper resting, actually. Getting that Coward's Rest. Damn.
That's an interesting play, because now... I think he's done that because he maybe anticipated that next turn would be an Extinction turn. So that
possibly.
Extinction would not affect Grumper.
Yep. Also, it seems that Grumper might have Energy Drink on the... might have Energy Drink, right? Since it does not have Sweatband, which Grumpers usually either run Sweatband or Energy Drink. And also they have Drakash in the back, which means that Relax isn't a huge threat to them. Ooh, this is a big 5-head turn right here. Is the Mushuk gonna attack, or is it going to Tenderness? Right? It's a big 50-50 for Arkham. What does he do? He swaps out Cerny, brings in this Kinu, actually.
Maybe anticipating the Tenderness. That would be next level.
Well, it actually covers both options. Yep, he does Tenderness, and also it would have given that Grumper extra bulk, just in case they decided to go for the perfect jab or the uppercut into Grumper, right? Electric Storm covering both Mushuk and Pig Epic, but Pig Epic with the evasion not taking any damage.
That was definitely a good move on the part of Arkham to both swap out into Kinu and to use Electric Storm, because you know that Bamboozle's going to hit something. It's going to, whatever it doesn't hit is going to get hit by Electric Storm. But it looks like Prody has built his entire team to be extremely tanky. So we're going to see how that affects things. Yeah,
that's true.
But now Mushuk is threatened by a Beta Burst from Kinu.
Yeah, not only is he threatened by a Beta Burst from Kinu, but he could also Beta Burst the Pig Epic spot. Possibly, depending on how fast the Pig is, take off the Bamboozle, right? So we do see the Beta Burst going to that Volor Sword. Volor taking a decent amount from that still, though. And we see the Bamboozle onto Volor. Mud Shower actually coming out on that Volor spot also, possibly predicting that swap.
Another option there would have been to use Thunderstrike onto Pig Epic. But maybe he thought, maybe he thought that Prody would expect that and Bamboozle the Pig instead.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he thought. We also see double screens on Volor coming out. We did not see that previously. So yeah, that is a very bulky Volor, huh?
Yeah, and that means that most likely Catfire has Talisman.
Yeah.
This pig epic might have friendship, which would mean that Vulor is immune to its own extinction in this situation.
So we see Bamboozle coming out, and we see Hypnosis, and we see the Coward's Rest Grumper coming out again, just in case that extinction
So he
comes out
decided
the
not
turn
to use
after, I guess.
Thunder Strike.
Yeah, I think that was actually a good play. Yeah, that was a good play by Kinu, or by Arkham. But now that Volor is just sitting on the field, right? But now it also, I'm guessing that Volor definitely outspeeds the Grumper, right? So
Yeah.
we could see a Beta Burst plus Mud Shower coming out here.
That's true. Yeah, it's hard to know what Grumper is going to do in this next turn. I think it's going to either Mud Shower or Thunder Strike Pig Epic. I think that it's also good to consider dealing with this Pig Epic, and there's nothing that can swap in the Pig Epic slot to tank a Thunder Strike.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
maybe if I were him, I would. But then I guess you leave Vulor open to being able to extinction next turn. So let's see how this goes.
So we see a Beta Burst going on to the Kinu, and we see, or the Kinu doing a Beta Burst onto Pig Epic, and we see Grumper stonewalling itself, predicting that Bamboozle, getting it bulked up, now being at +3 defense and +1 special defense.
But now I think it's concerning because the Vulor is almost certainly going to click extinction.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that it also has a Cernif in the back, right?
Oh, true.
And
Yeah,
what
you
he
could
could do...
Cernif.
Oh, well, unless he has energy... If he has energy drink on Grumper, he can't do this. But he could Hypno his own Grumper. And then Coward's Rest. And then undoom himself.
That would be a really insane play.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we get to see a team like this in the Club War. It's such a fun strategy to commentate, and it's deep to my heart as well because I used to play a Doom team, and I think it's something that I really enjoy watching.
Yeah. And oh, in chat they're saying that yeah, they can Grumper can undoom itself with Thunderstrike plus Coward's Rest, which is huge against Proddy. Grumper can't really be killed, except for maybe Mushuk. Mushuk can do some damage to it, and Naga can, but Naga gets undersped by Grumper.
I feel like Grumper is a great counter to Proddy's team. Proddy has to be thinking, I need to deal with this as soon as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So Kinu's coming out for Cernif. Yep. So predicting the extinction, potentially thinking about using Bush. Ulor comes out. Okay. So Shook comes back in.
Yeah, probably thinking that this Cernif is going to be swapping in one way or another. So I'm going to bring out this Mushuk to threaten it back out again. Grumper resting again, getting that Coward's Rest proc up. Yeah, this is going to be a very cold and calculated game. Each person is just... Oh, wow. This is insane. Yeah, Proddy cannot go for his usual kill with extinction and not have to do any damage, though. Reason is because how is he going to kill this Grumper, then? Right?
Yeah, and Cernif as well. He would need a way to deal with that because he's got Cap Hire to deal fire damage, but yeah, Cernif can bump Doom off Bush.
Yeah, so... Honestly,
we're seeing it that we're 8 turns in and Arkham hasn't taken damage.
Yeah, and we're also seeing mentioned that Proddy can't heal. There's no way for Proddy to heal at all, which is huge. We see Pig Epic swapping out, coming in for Volor, getting ready for that extinction to come online. We see Watercutting Lily come out, going into the Volor, bringing it down to 26% actually. Perfect Jab coming out, predicting the Cernif swap out, right? And we see Electrical Storm coming down on that Mushuk and Volor, bringing Volor down to 16% and Mushuk down to 62%, and there's no way for them to get that health back.
Yeah, and I feel like now Vulor is outsped by so many things that can kill it before Watercutting Lily.
Yep. And with Mushuk not having the best special defense, I think this Grumper is still a very big threat to this Mushuk, right? It has parrier for its defense, but special defense is on the lacking side. Now Prodigy has no good switch-in to a Thunder Strike, because that Kapire took 29.4% from it. That is a good chunk of damage. That's a 4-hit KO, right? Pig Epic cannot swap in, Naga can't swap in, so this Mushuk might just be on the field until it dies.
I think this Mushuk is going to need to start punching into Grumper.
Yeah,
pretty
for
soon. Sure. Because at the moment, Grumper is really threatening everything else.
Yeah. And if he wants his Volar to stay alive, he's going to have to swap out. So we see Warcutting Lily coming out from Cerneef again. Onto the Volar, taking it out, down to 0.
Yeah. I think for Prodigy, that's what he had to do. He had to leave Volar in, because he had to think, okay, well, what if there is always the case that where Arkham swaps Cerneef out and then you get an extinction. So I think that's probably his best bet.
Yeah. So we do see the Grumper resting, but now Grumper does not have or cannot take damage from one of the moves, right? In order for him to even get damage next turn, he has to get doubled up into, and I don't see that happening.
Especially not with Capire. There's nothing that Capire can do to Grumper except for knock off the Bamboozle.
Yep.
which actually could be alright.
Yo, so actually, if we see Capire go down here, Prodigy, I think, insta loses. Right?
I think we'll see. I think we'll see Cerneef come out here. I don't think it stays in against what's out there at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll either see Volar or Drakash come in for Cerneef.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Or you could even bring in Kinu and just give Grumper another buff.
I think bringing in Kinu and then stonewalling Grumper again is honestly a good play. Yep, and we see Kinu come in like you said.
Yeah. I mean, if Kinu eats a fire move, it's not the end of the world.
And it seems like this Kapire is full bulk, so yeah, that even at -1 defense, Kinu is tanking that. And Kapire not taking that much out very well. Kinu tanking the Embers though, compared to that Kapire. Kapire having no way to get that health back, I don't really see Prodigy coming back from this.
I think it was just a really unfortunate matchup for Prodigy. There were so many things that say either resist the Doom, they either resist Hypno, and I think Arkham had a really good team to counter Prodigy's strategy.
Yeah. Grumper honestly single-handedly counters his team, I think, and paired with Kino.
I mean, there's so many things on Arkham's team that, like, Prodigy must have thought, oh man, I'm at the very start, like, what do I even ban? Because you have to ban Volphy, but then you also have Grumper, you have Cerneef to let through, and yeah, I think it's unfortunate that there were so many counters.
Yeah, so we see Perfect Jab coming out and Grumper low against defense. We see Beta Burst coming out from Kinu. Onto the Mushuk, I'm guessing. Yep. Mushuk going from 62 down to 32. About 30%. We actually see Flame Meteorite coming out from Kapire here. Getting brought down this Kinu saying, I don't want you buffing up these Tems anymore. Grumper's already raid boss enough. He already counters my team hard enough. I don't need him to counter my team even harder. Kapire going down, though, to this Mud Shower. And I don't really know how Prodigy's going to bring this back. His Mushuk's at 31%. His Pig Epic has been chipped out a little. And Grumper single-handedly just counters his Naga.
In this game, like, I wonder how often Coward's Rest has really come into play, and if he would have been better off with Inductor.
I think for this match specifically, just the fact that it threatens Doom, Coward's Rest is good.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to actual, like, games, I think Inductor's
in
still
general,
better. Yeah, in general, Inductor's better.
I guess it is good to know, like, say if you rest, it is good to know that you will not get doubled the following turn. And with such a slow Tem like Grumper, it's worth considering that you don't want to get doubled a lot of the time.
Yeah.
They're Gatling on a Naga.
We actually see Relax coming out from Grumper, but I bet Grumper has an energy drink. It does not. Ooh. But now this Naga is dead because there is a Drakash in the back.
That's true. All he needs to do is swap in Drakash and use either. I mean, you could use Electric Storm here.
Yeah. Electric Storm would kill Naga and do a lot of damage to Pig, right?
Yeah.
And they can't do anything to Grumper. Literally cannot. Naga can't even Psy Surge it. So we're probably gonna see Drakash swapping into this Voloran slot. Pig Epic, unless it's min speed Pig Epic, like I was saying earlier, which it doesn't. It doesn't underspeed Grumper. Actually, we've seen the Bamboozles go before Grumper.
That's right. That's right. So it wouldn't be.
So yeah,
I think this is the first game I've ever seen where Grumper has stayed on the field the entire game.
I think so. Also,
I've never seen that before.
Uh-oh, did Prodi run out of time?
I'm not sure, but I can see the orange is going down right now.
Yeah, it was blue going down first, but I think Prodi just ran out of time.
There's a bit of speculation in the chat now over which trait is better on Drakash. I think everyone's in agreement that Sentinel is so strong in this meta.
Mm-hmm. We see Drakash come in, Sentinel waking up that Grumper. We see Thunderstrike actually coming down on that Naga, bringing it down to 0.
I'm a bit surprised that he didn't decide to use Electric Storm, but maybe he wasn't sure whether it would kill Naga.
Yeah, that's possible. Naga's special defense is pretty high, and so is its HP isn't that high, but its special defense is high. And now there is absolutely no way Prodi brings this back. Like, I don't care if you have Inner Spirit on Mushhook, max special attack, you're not even killing that Grumper. Yeah, I honestly, Prodi didn't even need the 39 SV speed Grumper there, did he? Because, or not Prodi, but Arkham, because he had Bamboozle.
Yeah, I mean his Grumper is I guess if he had had 50 speed, then possibly Pig Epic would have outsped it with Bamboozle. But also
That's
Grumper
possible.
is not going to take a lot of damage from or Naga's Fury with +3 special defense.
Yeah. So see perfect jab coming out on Drakash going down to 20 or 75%. Hellfire coming out from it. Let's see how much damage it does on this Mushhook. Really gets from 31 down to 14, doing a decent amount. Also doing a decent amount of Pig Epic. I'm guessing we see a Thunderstrike or a Coward's Rest here come out.
I guess the Coward's Rest is a safe play, but I mean...
Yeah, so he doesn't OX.
What would have been... Yeah, that's true. You can just keep Grumper there the entire game.
Yeah, now he just has to Fire NATO Pig Epic and rests on Grumper again, and then he wins. Yep, Fire NATO coming out on this Pig Epic, bringing it down from 30 to 0. Fainted Curse coming out, I'm guessing. Oh no! Oh, Fainted Curse, it's not friendship.
It did. I thought it might have friendship in the Doom team is because that would mean that it's interesting. That would mean that Vulor is not immune to its own extinction.
Well, or is friendship where you can't hit your...
Friendship is like if the pig has friendship, it makes it actually that's right. The pig would be immune to friendship, but the Vulor wouldn't.
Yeah.
So you need, in order to make Vulor immune to its own extinction, you need Shuin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a good game. There wasn't much that Prodi could do with how Arkham was playing and how Arkham's team was set up. A very hard matchup for Prodi. But GG's nonetheless. Arkham played that very well. Oops.
I think we've seen some really good games so far, and it's 2-1 on the scoreboard, and lots of games to come.
Yeah. That Crumper never sees the light of day again, permaband. Oh boy.
So let's see if they decide to run 2 players we haven't seen yet, because that's been the trend so far. As we've seen 6 different players so far on this club war. Let's see if we see another 2 that we haven't seen.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I saw Grumper having college rest. I just called it a loss for me and spent all my efforts on info gathering. I think that was the right play, Proddy. That was the best play that you could make, to be honest.
It's true, and at the end we learned that the Grumper does not have energy drink.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
He's scouted out for his club in that respect.
Yeah, and that's one of the big parts of Dojo Wars, right? Is or Club Wars, not Dojo Wars. That you need to scout for things so that your teammates have a better, like, more knowledge on what's going on.
I'm just gonna step away from the chat for a little bit. Gonna go make a tea. I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, guys, it's very early in the morning for Heron right now. Very early.
Yeah, 7:30. I've been up since 5. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, let's show some love for Heron. Hello everyone who is coming in. Sorry for everyone who's been following. I have not been reading them out. Since we are commentating the Club Boys. So I'll read them off right now. Tickles, thank you for following. Farthing, Angel, Kenny, 8-Bit, Saga R, and Just Jutin. Thank you all for the follows. Okay, so 2 minutes, or no, actually we should be seeing who is going to be up next very soon here, since 2 minutes have passed. So we should be seeing who's going to be coming up here soon. How are the games going? The games are going pretty good so far. Give me a... Oh, we're seeing Parth versus Arkham. Arkham's staying in. Arkham... Honestly, Arkham's team is very well into Karth's, I think. I think Arkham is going to do very well into Karth. Arkham needs to kill Karth for Trot. Yes, that is very true. Okay, they're not in their game yet. I think if you know how to verse Karth's squad, it can be dismantled through a good set of pick and bans. Not completely dismantled. Not saying that it's a bad team. Just like it can be crippled by a good set of pick and bans, I think. Okay, they're in their game. Yeah, looking at Arkham's team, it looks really good into Karth's, I think. Karth has his game hair on, as you can see. Ooh, are we seeing a possible Paharic ban here? Yeah, banning that Paharek would ban the sweatband off Karth's team and also decrease one of the Hypnoers and Turboers that Karth has available. So we do see Paharek getting banned. I honestly think that Grandpa's a better ban, but then again, the Paharek's a little bulkier when it comes to that camaraderie. But if you ban Grandpa, there is no more camaraderie, right? So let's see who Karth bans. I'm guessing he bans either Grumper or Kinu here. If Arkham Knight had, instead of a mix, had a like Naga or something, I think Arkham would be in a very good spot. But like Grumper hard counters Karth's team. The only thing that Karth really has for Grumper are Gaialis and Lawali. And he chooses to ban Rise, leaving both Grumper and Cernif on the table. Ooh, I do not like the Thames that Arkham is hovering right now. I do not think either Drakash or Grumper would be good to pick into this. But then again, though, they might get Grumper might get banned if he doesn't pick Grumper right now, right? I think something like a Grumper plus Cernif could be good, just so that Grumper doesn't get banned. But then again, though, Grumper plus Cernif leaves Rise open, which would not be good. Maybe Grumper Kinu, actually. Do we see if Arkham's Vola's and no, we did not. Welcome back, Heron. We are spectating Karth versus Arkham right now.
Hey Rishi, I'm back now, so.
Yep, we're spectating Karth versus Arkham.
Yep, I can see that on your stream. It looks like they did decide to go with some players that we've already seen in this club war. So
yep,
hop on and spectate Karth.
I think this was a very good matchup also, because I think Arkham does very well into Karth's team. Ooh, Karth being conflicted. Ooh, picks the classic Gaialis Kinu opener. And we did see that Cernif is settling and not Colosity. Let's see what Karth's ban comes down to here. I think Karth's ban will determine a lot, actually. So we'll have to see what happens there.
Probably ban Drakash, but we'll see. I don't know, maybe not.
I don't know if he bans Drakash.
Drakash is quite good against his Hypno users, but yeah, he decided to ban Cernif, which I think is also good.
Yep. Ooh, okay, so I think Arkham banning either Grandpa, Rise. Oh, I don't know how I feel about the Whip Plumper or
no,
maybe
I don't think yeah.
Maybe that's aerobic Vola then, though, right?
Do we know? We don't know what Karth's Vola is because we didn't get to see it the other game.
You're right. I'm guessing it's anaerobic though.
If I were Karth, I would definitely pick Lawali. I think is a really good 10 into Arkham's team.
Yeah, for sure.
But maybe he wants to wait and pick it last to discourage Arkham from picking Volarend.
Yep.
Do we know what Volarend Arkham is running?
No, we do not. We did not get to see it last game.
So if it is anaerobic, it could be really good against Karth's team. But seeing as he didn't lead with it, I wonder if it's aerobic.
Same here. Yeah, I wonder that too. Yeah, I think Mix is actually a really good pick here, because if it comes in on HKS, that's an easy puppet master most likely from Grandpa.
And yeah, and Karth doesn't have much AoE The only AoE I could see him having is allergic spread from low ollie, and not everyone runs it either. So
Yep. He could have. He'll have toxic from Umbola though, but if that
that's true.
if that mixes at 40% health, right, you're gonna need a good amount of toxic plumes, and you can only do that every other turn.
I think I'm hearing a bit of background noise from you, Rishi. I don't know if it's from you or me, but
It could be from me.
I think it's gone now, so I don't hear it anymore.
I think it just randomly picks up on the background noise, to be honest. It's weird.
Yeah, it sounded like some kind of like horror, in horror movies where there's like really like kind of ambiance before something really bad happens. It's like building a suspenseful.
Okay, so what do you think the first turn 1 play is going to be here?
I mean, so you got double Kinu. I think that if Karth decides to leave Gaialis on the field and use double Gash and Grumper, he's going to be taking a bit of damage from Mud Shower.
Ooh, we see Cash coming in. We see double Gash going on Grumper, bring it down to 73%, followed up by a Beta Burst, also on the Grumper. Bring it down to... Ooh, that did nothing. 56. Let's see how much damage this Mud Shower does. Not a whole bunch, but Drakash could stay in here very easily, I think. Because I'm guessing Arkham's Drakash either 1, outspeeds most Gaialises, or 2, lives a hook kick and then has a good amount of health left over, allowing it to take that Beta Burst.
I think that it would have been silly to bring Drakash in if it wasn't fast, because basically what Karth must be thinking is that if Arkham has brought this Drakash in, he must have quite a bit of speed investment.
And he can also
hook kick.
You're right, and also he can bring in Grumper or Kinu for Grumper, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And he has no switch into Hellfire.
Yeah, I think for Arkham that was really good because also Drakash blocks any possibility of hypnosis.
Yep, that's also true. So yeah, that was pretty good setup by Arkham here. Putting Karth on the defensive.
I forget from earlier. Does Arkham have another fire tem on his team?
Yes, Rise, but not it got banned.
He didn't. Right.
But honestly, a Drakash trade for Gaialis wouldn't be too bad here. Yes, Drakash prevents hypnosis, but Grumper can take care of the rest of Karth's team, I think, especially with Coward's Rest.
I wonder if Arkham is thinking he can actually leave Grumper in here, or whether he thinks it's better swap.
I would not like that play. Yep. Okay, so he swaps Grumper out. Are we gonna see the Kinu? We do see Kinu swap in. So we could see a Crystal Bite onto Kinu, honestly, knowing the caliber of Karth, of the player that Karth is. But we do just see the hook kick coming out on Drakash. We see Revitalize coming out onto the Gaialis. Let's see how much this Hellfire does.
Either that or a slow Drakash.
Oh, Gaialis bringing it down to 48. Kinu brought down to 47. And a
So
double gash will not kill Drakash here.
Double Gash Beta Burst would, though.
I don't know if it would.
You don't think so?
Because a double gash does less than half of a hook kick, I believe.
That's true. So it would do... Well, it would still do 30%.
You're right, it would.
9%, and then you think a Beta Burst would do 9%.
But he is at +1 with double screens. So, and if we see this Kinu, Arkham's Kinu outspeeding the enemy Kinu, we could see Revitalize before the Beta Burst, right?
That's true. Or if his Kinu is really fast, we could see him Hypno on Gaialis.
So let's see what happens here.
Doesn't look like he did.
Nope. Yeah.
Revitalized.
Stays in.
Yeah.
Yep. Revitalize comes out from the Kinu onto the Drakash, meaning that this Beta Burst is not gonna kill. Very good play by Arkham.
Here we go. Yeah.
Let's see this Fire Nado coming down on the Gyalis. That was a very good play by Arkham. Trading the Drakash's health for a Gyalis kill? Amazing play, I think.
Yeah, and that this Drakash can still do quite a bit of damage. I didn't see how much did that beta burst do?
Well, it was 8%, then revitalize. So it did 13%, I believe. So it would have killed.
Yeah. So, but another beta burst will not kill. So that's good. That's good for Arkham to know, because now he knows that.
Wait, I wonder if it was a speed tie.
Move off.
Was it a speed tie? Let's see.
I don't know.
It was not a speed tie. No.
No, because the previous turn, Kinu was also faster than Drakash.
Well, I was saying if it was a speed tie between the Kinus.
Oh, between the Kinus. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that could have been that could have been a upside for blue side. So yeah, Arkham in a very good position right here. Yeah. He could bring out Grumper, stonewall it, get some defenses up on it, then they can't do anything to it, and revitalize the next turn. Like, Arkham's the one that's gonna be making the plays here, and Karth is gonna have to react to them. Karth is not in the best position at the moment.
I'd like to see what he decides to do. I think we'll see Drakash coming out. See what he decides to bring in his place.
Yeah. And so, yeah, and also, you have to take in consideration, Karth had no switch into that Fire Nado or anything.
No. I think he probably just thought that his Kinu would go before Arkham's Kinu.
Yeah, that's what I think also happened. So, either way, the fact that Arkham swapped in that Drakash turn 1 is where Arkham, was put in a good position. Then Karth had to react to it and say, hey, I just lost a lot of tempo. What can I do now?
It was actually a very risky play on the part of Arkham, because you don't really know how fast Karth's Kinu is.
Unless Arkham is running max speed Kinu.
That's true. Then he would know that with Speed Arrow, he's definitely going to outspeed with Revitalize.
Yep, exactly.
Windburst.
So we see a Windburst, and we see a Bay Burst. Does that overexert the Kinu now?
I think it does.
It does not, but we see a Stonewall coming out on the Volorend. Yikes. If this is anaerobic, Arkham wins.
I'm not sure if it is anaerobic. We'll see if it is. The way that he played it out, he picked it quite late in the game, or in the bans, leads me to believe that it's aerobic, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, same here. Just like what chat was saying. I agree with chat. I agree with you. I'm guessing it's aerobic. Aerobic wouldn't do a whole bunch this game. Unless it's max speed aerobic, or max attack aerobic.
I think we'll probably, if Arkham runs Turbo on his Kinu, we'll probably see that happen, but I don't think he does. Because he doesn't have any other wins apart from Volorend.
Yeah. So we do see Volorend coming out. Oh, and then we see Grumper coming back in, possibly for a good ol'. Oh, and he has Drakash in the back. Oh no, Karth is not in a good place. Yeah, we see Revitalize coming out from Grumper, or onto Grumper. Yeah, Karth is not in a very good position here. Having +1/+1 on Grumper, having +2/+1 on Vola, having +1/+1 on Drakash, although Drakash is very low. Allowing that Grumper to tank a Hypno, then having the Grumper, and then swapping Drakash in, maybe the Drakash dies, but the fact that Grumper will then wake up and get off a Electrical Storm or Thunderstrike is huge against Karth's team. And also Sorry, what?
Oh, it's okay. I was going to say, I think it would be unwise for Arkham to swap in Drakash this turn for Kinu,
Yeah,
because
I do too.
then Karth could just use Hyperkinetic Strike on Volarend, which would kill Drakash before the Hypno.
Yep.
So he could Hyperkinetic Strike Hypno. But
Yeah.
I would wait until they Hypno Grumper this turn, then bring in Drakash to wake Grumper up.
Yeah, I think a good play here would be stonewalling the Grumper, to be honest. Just getting it more bulky so that it can't do anything later down the line.
Grandpa's come out for Kinu. Looks like he's going to let that Electric Storm.
Does he bring in... Okay, I was about to say, if he brings in Drakash, I would be like, what? But yeah, he brings in Mix. Toxic Plume's here. Hitting both Grumper and the Mix. Oh, it is anaerobic. Okay. Let's see. So we do see Electrical Storm coming out. I mean, that this Kinu is going to take a good chunk, and so will this Vola. Vola actually doesn't take a whole bunch, because it is Electrical Storm. Kinu, though, brought down to 23% health, and there is no good switching on Karth's side for this Crystal Spikes.
He could just Crystal Spikes Thunderstrike that slot.
Yep.
And I think what we'll probably see Loali come in for Kinu.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, a Thunderstrike plus Crystal Spike on the Kinu slide is huge. Can't bring a Grumper, it dies instantly.
To think about, he doesn't want to let this Volarend get too tanky. Because he doesn't really have, I mean, his only physical attacker may or may not be Volarend. We don't really know if it's aerobic or anaerobic yet.
That's very true.
We'll see if this Volarend on Karth's side gets to a point where it can tank a lot of moves.
Even then, though, I don't think Karth can win. Because Karth's Volarend most likely has Doppelganger Brooch and not Sweatband. So Loali comes in.
Oh, for Volarend, I thought it might come in for Kinu.
The reason why he didn't do that, I think, is because Kinu, or whatever swapped in the Kinu slot, would die anyway, right? So Kinu overexerts here for that Turbo Choreography. We see Crystal Spikes coming out on the Kinu. Kinu going down, brought down to 0. I'm guessing we see a Grumper Thunderstrike coming out here. Yep, you see Grumper Thunderstrike coming out on that Loali doing... Oh, wow, that's a 3-hit KO, actually. But Grumper cannot stay in against Loali, for it will die. Or not die, but it will take a lot of damage from a Resin Trap, and Grumper wants to be as healthy as possible for late game. This Mix is also a huge threat to Karth. Cannot be Hypnoed, which is one of the main staples of Karth's team, right?
He's got a pretty good anti-Hypno setup, which is not good for Karth.
Yeah. And I see mentioned in chat that he can deal with Mix with HKS plus Hypno, or HKS plus Toxic Plume, but you would have to have both Grandpa and Volarend on the field for that, right? And you have neither one of them right now. Obviously, one of them will come out, but that's still not going to save you, right?
We also don't know whether Loali runs Allergic Spread.
Ah, that's true. We don't know. I'm guessing that it does not, though. Well, maybe it doesn't run Tenderness, actually. Because it definitely runs Turbo. It definitely runs Resin Trap. It definitely runs Hypoxia.
Yep. Right.
It might not run Tenderness because Karth's team doesn't struggle with Sternif, really.
I quite like Allergic Spread as a move. I mean, it is hard to decide whether what to run in that last slot, but Loali also has the Botanist trait, which makes Allergic Spread hit pretty hard if you've got max special attack.
That's very true. So we do see the Grandpa coming in here. I'm expecting a Grumper switch out. Yep, as we do see Grumper swapping out. Into Kinu, yep. So Kinu coming in, getting that Protector buff onto that Mix. Mix probably laying off a Crystal Spike into the Grumper slot, I'm guessing. Well, we see HKS onto the Grumper slot, trying to get some damage off on it, but Kinu comes in and says, no. That Grumper's staying healthy till late game. Resin Trap coming out of the Kinu for 1.5 damage, bringing it down to 37%. And Grease, so it does not get trapped. Very good item placement on Arkham's side, making sure that Kinu never can get trapped in, unless snared. And wow, that Crystal Spike kills next turn, actually.
Just so Karth has to know that and decide whether he wants to leave this Loali in. I think he'll probably swap it out.
Even if he does, though, that's a free swap into Grumper. and he has nothing to counter Grumper. And oh no, it's a free swap into Grumper anyway, unless he has Allergic Spread, right? Because if this Lolly doesn't have Allergic Spread, then it has nothing for Grumper.
Yeah, not this turn at least.
And I think if Karth goes down, we might see Trot come out. The real question is, do we see another 5-0? I doubt we see another 5-0.
I think he's gonna lose a Tem on his left slot at some point, but
yeah,
you can leave
I agree.
in. Would you,
Mix?
if you were Arkham right now, would you just overexert Mix and then you get even closer to Puppet Master, or would you just?
I don't think so because HKS from Grandpa will hurt a lot. And do we see this Grumper swap in? Predicting this swap?
Oh,
we actually see Volerant swap in.
Maybe we get to finally find out what type of Volerant this is.
Yeah, that's true. Side switch coming out from Mix onto the Volerant slot, doing actually a decent chunk of damage considering that it was at +2 special defense. HKS from Grandpa and Hypnosis are both up.
We might also see. I don't know. I don't think HKS and Toxic Plume would even kill Mix, but I don't think Arkham will leave Mix in.
I don't think so either.
Unless he just decides to rest. Mix is already +1 special defense. He could bring a Kinu in for Volerant and buff Mix even more, but I don't know what he'll do. Let's see.
Yep, that is very true.
I guess you could bring in Kinu and like the buff would happen before the swap out, so you could bring in Kinu for Volerant. No, actually, never mind. His Mix is faster than.
Yeah,
so
so
he's gonna leave Volerant in.
Yep, so he keeps Volerant in. He brings in Kinu. Volerant should tank this up. Yep, he eats that like a boss. Feather Gatling coming out though, and that is a Doppel Vola, but not doing enough damage. Volerant, on the other hand, going to be doing a heavy Feather Gatling into the enemy Vola. Looking very bad for Karth.
And we have just discovered that Arkham's Volerend is anaerobic.
Yeah, it is. Ooh, but obviously with Volerend at that low of health, it doesn't really matter.
Not going to matter too much, yeah.
Both. Oh yeah, we already knew that Karth Vola was anaerobic though.
Yeah. I think at some point Arkham has to be thinking he wants to deal with this Grandpa because it's just sitting there and continuing to be a pain.
Honestly, Grandpa's low on stamina though.
That's
so
true.
what I see Grumper swapping in a Stonewall from Kinu. Oh no, but never mind. Anaerobic Vola would kill the Kinu first, right? So this is we might see a Tem go down on Arkham's side. But like one Tem.
You could also Hypno the you could probably Hypno the Volerend with Kinu.
Volerend's at +2 speed.
Oh, that's right, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no point in going for the 5-0 if it's gonna cost you the game, obviously. So we do see Volerend going down. So I'm guessing they're trading Volerend for Volerend? Or did he go for the Hypno? Oh, ooh, yikes. That's
maybe
not...
he, like me, forgot that Volerend was +2 speed.
He must have forgotten.
Yeah.
Oh, but we do get a free swap in the Mix though, so maybe that wasn't that bad of a play, honestly. It wasn't the best play. But
yeah, I mean, he could have just clicked Hypno and it still would have slept the Vola, but
yeah,
I think Crystal Spikes here into Loali is pretty unavoidable.
Play. I think so too.
You know, one thing that Arkham might consider is bringing in Grumper for Kinu.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I think that would be the best play, to be honest.
Imagine the next level read of Karth using Resin Trap into Kinu.
Dude,
I don't know if
that would be insane, actually. Yeah. We're seeing in chat. I wouldn't risk it. So yeah, just let the Lawali die, or let the Kinu die. Bring in Grumper that way.
Hmm.
Oh wait, do we see it? Oh, we see
Oh,
Drakash come in. Maybe a sack on the Drakash so that Grumper can come in easily. Yeah,
I don't think it dies.
it doesn't
Not too
die.
much.
It doesn't
Which
die.
maybe was the intention, because
Yeah.
now there's no hypno possibility. But I like the idea of keeping Drakash in the back and then being able to bring it in to wake its him up. Is going to make a difference later on for Arkham.
We also get to see the Grandpa's item. We did not get to see that. Oh no, we did get to see that last game with the Ukama Gang snare. But Grandpa has is carrying the snare. Snaring the mix is the item, which we did not get to see.
It was the other way around. I think the Okama was the one that had the snare that we saw. So, let's see. Ollie's going to come back in.
So we do see Lawali come in. Meaning this Grandpa is probably going to be taking out Drakash. Unless we see Kinu swap in. Okay, good. I was about to say, there's no way that he was going to swap in Grumper, but I was like, if he does swap in Grumper here, that would be a throw.
Energy minute. Energy. This is good, because...
Lawali's just getting chipped away. Chip. And, no way to regen that health back. So another Emanip will go into Lawali and kill it. No point of swapping out. Maybe swap out Mix for something. But honestly, he could just Beta Burst and leave Mix in.
Rest it, yeah.
Yeah, rest it.
Mix is going to be so strong the rest of this game. I don't know if there's... Even a Hyperkinetic Strike Plume wouldn't kill Mix, I don't think. With the +2 special defense.
Yeah. Yeah, you are right. Let's see what happens here. So we see Lawali switching out, actually. Volren coming in. What do we see coming here? We see your Cash come in, wanting the sack. Arkham just wants the sack so badly. But no sacks are coming here.
How I feel about that. I don't like. I would like to have Drakash in the back, just in case it comes down to Grumper against Volarend and Grandpa, and then you know that Hypno is never going to be an issue.
Well, I think Arkham's actually in a really good place when it comes to sacks, because what it allows you to do, it kind of allows you to have a Tem die, and then since your Tem dies, you can see what's on the board and what you swap in because of that, right?
Yeah.
And also, he has Mr. Kinu, right? And Mix just carries this game also, alongside Grumper.
Keep buffing that. Yeah, keep buffing Mix up with Kinu.
Yep.
Here it comes again.
There's nothing Karth can do. Kinu finally gets brought down.
Oh, barely as well. That almost lived.
Yeah.
And Plume.
Okay, so now they get a kill with Thunderstrike or Electric Storm. Well, I guess there is Grandpa, right? There is Grandpa to worry about. But, all he has to do is he has to Emanip his own Grumper, and then he gets a kill. Right? So,
that's true.
And he can't swap Drakash in, though, because he could kill the Drakash spot and then Hypno. So you just Emanip your own Grumper, and Grumper Electric Storms. And then he gets a kill no matter what. If that kills Vola, it seals Karth's fate. If that kills anything, it seals Karth's fate.
I mean, at this point, you could even rest Mix and then bring in Drakash to wake Grumper up.
Guys, Vola's at +2 speed, and a HKS would make him +4 speed.
Yeah, so the HKS would kill Drakash before the hip.
So they see him
Putting
just
mix
doubling
with
up on the
master-
mix. Yep,
Oh, he
he
did?
manips his own Grumper.
Grumper.
That's exactly what he does. And then
Yeah.
Electric Storm's here. Yep. We
Let's
see
go,
Vola go
Grandpa.
down. Grandpa getting brought down to 8%. Yikes.
And now what? You just overexert mix for a crystal spikes.
You overexert mix for Crystal Spikes.
Or actually, you could even bring in Durkash now. Because
yeah.
you know that there's no faster move from low.
Oh no, you don't even overexert mix for Crystal Spikes. You just E-manip here.
Yeah, that's true. On either 10.
So yeah. It doesn't really matter here. Karth's fate has been sealed, and he's just trying to get more information out of the enemy, I think, at this point. So we do see Durkash swap in now.
I think that's a safe move on the part of. Oh, actually, he swapped it in for Grumper. I thought he might do it for Mix.
But he uses a resin trap here, meaning that there's no way that he kills Grumper next turn. And Mix gets a kill right here. He even upped his own Grumper so that if he got slept, he could wake it up.
Yeah, he's predicting the Hypno. Durkash swap would not have sealed it because, like we said, he could have used Hyperkinetic Strike on Durkash first.
Yep, exactly.
Now the question is, does he want to kill with Crystal Spikes or with Thunder Strike?
That's a very good. Yeah, exactly. Which animation does he want more? Right?
Yeah.
The only way that Karth wins this is if he like Crystal Spikes his own Dialis or his own Mix. And then I don't know how he would have done that. But GG's to both. Both played that very well. Karth had a very hard matchup.
So many answers to Hypno on Arkham's team.
Yes, a lot.
Not ideal for Karth. Purdy comes in and says, Temtem is rock, paper, scissors changed my mind. I can see how you would think that watching the games that we've seen, because there have been so many matchups in this tournament so far that have been.
He's just salty.
Yeah, he's a bit salty, but I mean, I would be too. I've lost with Doom teams before. I feel your pain, Brody. I've been hard countered before with my Doom team as well. It's not fun.
Probably just a little bit salty, you know.
Yeah, well, I guess when you're rank 1 on ladder, you can lose a few games here and there.
Yeah, but he doesn't ever play ladder because he's a biatch.
He's afraid to defend his slot, maybe.
I love you, Prodigy. No hard feelings. The Club Wars format where you just randomly throw a player is the ultimate rock, paper, scissors portion of it. Okay, I can agree with that. We've got a good game coming up here, I think, also. Tup Pup versus Arkham Knight. I think that's going to be a good one.
You know, I've never played against Tut Pup, but I've always seen his name on leaderboards and stuff, and I have no idea how he plays, but he must be pretty good.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. I don't know how he plays though. Oh, Tut Pup. Because I haven't watched him play much, but I know he's a good player.
I love Prody using the stream as an opportunity to sell grumpers.
Yeah, no, Prody's always doing that.
he's like, oh, by the way, now that we've seen how good Grumper is, I have a few for sale. You should raise the price, Prody. 25k sounds a bit cheap.
Yeah,
given how
25k
good
does sound
Grumper
a
has
bit
been
cheap.
this tournament. Yeah. There's lots of market speculation going on in chat at the moment.
Shh, don't let them know yet.
Yeah. Crody, I wouldn't give up yet. I bet you get a few DMs from that.
He probably does.
You should say, oh, sorry, they've gone up to 45K.
Sorry, low stock.
Yeah. I sold 6 already. Get them while they're hot.
Okay, they're still not in their match yet. We'll get in there as soon as possible. Okay. So, what do you think about the game so far? We're 1-3. At least 2 more games. So this will be interesting to see how this goes down.
Yeah, I mean, there's several players that we haven't seen yet, Tup being one of them. I think that we will see a lot of different teams, possibly some. I'd like to see some more intense matchups. I mean, we haven't had one game where it's been down to 110 versus 110. I'd really like to see a game where it's uncertain till the very end who's going to win.
Yeah, I think Growthos game would have been the closest to that, but Growthos just made some misplays.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that game was pretty critical in this club war because I felt like Growthos actually won the ban phase.
Yeah, I
and
think
had
so too.
A lot of advantages going in, and unfortunately, there were just a few reads that cost it. I mean, the Ukama not swapping out was a difficult one because you don't know whether Hyperkinetic Strike is going to kill. But yeah, it's very tricky. It's hard to know.
Yeah. Ooh, we see some spicy stuff on Tup Pup side. We see the Acronox coming in.
Yeah, so this is paving the way for the classic opener of Acronox Ukama, which is such a strong opener against the right team.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, against Arkham's team, that is a pretty good opener. There's not much.
And we see the Acronox actually getting banned right off the bat.
I actually think that's a pretty good move on the part of Arkham, because Acronox was a huge threat to his Cernif.
Well, I actually think Ukama would have been a better ban, though. No. Never mind. He has so many things to deal with Ukama. He has Grumper, he has Anaerobic Bowler, and he has Volphy, he has Cernif.
I mean, I don't know if Grumper is a very good answer to Ukama, because it also gets hit 2x by Water Cannon.
That's very true.
And Grumper has quite low special defense, so it's not going to get... It's going to do more than 50%.
Yep.
If I were Tup Pup here, I might think about banning Cerny for Volphy.
Yeah.
And he decides to ban Rise.
Yeah, he does ban Rise, which is a good ban still, to be honest. Just because it can shut down most of his team.
I mean, he's got his own Cernif and Volphy, and he's got his own Rise, so maybe Cernif ban wouldn't have been that great because he has a lot of answers to it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so we do see the Volphy get swapped in, but usually Rise carries Snare or Grease though on his as an item, right? So this Volphy threatens out Rise turn 2, but not really turn 1. I don't expect to see a swap, or Tup Pup might swap out the Rise though still, just to keep it healthy and allow it to keep it as a pivot or something. And so that turn 2 we can swap it back in for debuffs and stuff like that, right? But I don't think he has to swap out the Rise if he has the right item on it.
I think it was a good move on Arkham's side leading Volarend, because if you look at Tup Pup's team, there's not much on his team that answers an anaerobic Volarend well.
Yo, you're right. What the hell? All he has to do really is keep Volarend in the back. until late game. Take care of the enemy Volan, since the enemy Volan probably has Doppelganger Brooch, right? Once he does that, Arkham's Volarend, if it gets raid boss up, Tut Pup can't do anything against it.
I think that's exactly why Tut Pup chose Volarend to answer the Arkham's Volarend, to try to get some damage on it as soon as he can.
Yep, because we know Arkham's Volarend is Doppel, right? So.
Yeah, it's Doppel anaerobic.
Yep. So we see a Kinu ban coming out from Tut Pup. I think a Kinu ban from Arkham would be very good here. He's hovering Grandpa. I don't really agree with that. He does Grandpa. Huh. Wonder what he's thinking there.
I'm not sure. Maybe he thought that Grandpa was good against Cernith.
Or maybe he thinks that he can take care of Kinu pretty easily because he does have the anaerobic Vola. He does have that Drakash. He does have that mix, right?
I feel like Grumper isn't that great on Arkham's side this game. I think he'll pick Mix over Grumper.
Yeah, I think he does pick Mix also. A lot of things on Tut Pup's team, like Arkham can kill Vola with the Grumper, which is a big threat to Arkham's team, or opens up the Arkham late, or opened up Arkham's Vola late game, right? But I don't think picking Grumper into Tut Pup's team is worth it just to be able to kill that Vola.
It's gonna be interesting to see this game. I think especially with that Rise debuff, that kind of hurts the effectiveness of Arkham's Vola against Tut Pup's Vola.
Yeah, that's true.
Now the Tut Pup's Vola is almost certainly going to be going first, which is really relevant.
Honestly, I see Vola swapping out turn 1 for Arkham. I think you need to keep Vola at full health, keep him for late game so that he can wall Volfi, he can wall Cerny, he can wall he kind of walls Rise. Rise can still be very annoying with Roars, King's Roars, and Embers, but he can still deal the damage to Rise, right? I think swapping in for a Mix, even though Rise has 2 times effective damage on Mix, I think it's still a really good swap in here. Especially if he does Feather Gatling Embers, it could even bring him down into Puppet Master.
Let's see if Arkham decides to use Plague on Volfi to try to trap this Rise in, but it could also have Snare. So yeah, that's one thing to consider.
Yeah, and if Volfi gets snared, that could be very bad for Arkham, right? Yep. So honestly, I would rather have him... I think the better play would be trying to trap in the enemy Vola, right? And also, we do see Doppelganger Brooch and Aerobic. So yeah, we do see it go onto the Vola end. And let's see what this Vola chooses. You see Embers going on to Vola. So this Vola's gonna be brought down to 50% health, right?
I think that's a good move on the part of Tut Pup to try to reduce this Volarend's health while you can. But yeah, I think that also the fact that he left Volarend in, it took a lot of damage, and he maybe would have been better to swap Mix in there. It would have put it in Puppet Master range. Yeah.
I think that would have been a much better play. Because Volarend is his main way of killing Cernith, since Cernith threats out Drakash, in my opinion. He does have Mix, though, for Cernith, but if that's paired with a Volfi, Mix doesn't want to be standing, right? So I think the better play would have been swapping out Volarend, and like you said, swapping in that Mix.
I mean, Tut Pup has to be thinking he can bring in his Cernith and start using Bush with synergy. As soon as that Volarend comes out, he can start setting that Cernith up. Or
he can bring out Mix, or bring in Mix, right? Get that Puppet Master still. I think that... And also, Arkham has 2 Earth Times on his team.
Yeah. So there's bush synergy on both sides. It seems like it is pretty relevant for Arkham as well because he has Tut-Pup has mostly special attackers.
Yep.
Seeing as his Volarend is aerobic.
Yeah, I don't think it was the best move for Arkham to keep Vola in.
One thing to keep in mind is that Arkham also has Toxic Plume synergy to lower the Cernif's attack, but Tut-Pup doesn't.
Oh, you're right. That's very true. So we see Kinu swapping in for the Rise, buffing up that aerobic Volarend's special defense and defense. Now we do see the mix swap in, and let's see how much damage this HAS is going to do. See, going on the mix, brought from 10 down to 56. Now this Volarend, though, is going to actually die from a Crystal Spikes, right? Because it's at -1 special defense.
That's true. Yeah, and there's really nothing that Tut-Pup can do to prevent that.
Yep, exactly. We still don't know if Snare is on Rise or Kinu, and if Snare is on Rise, then Grease is probably on Kinu. So yeah, that'll be very interesting, I think.
If Flowmaster's watching, but this is where you'd want Untangle. That's his favorite move, so I thought I might shout out to him because he's a strong proponent of running Untangle on Cernif.
Untangle on Cernif? Really?
I'm not sure if it's the greatest option, but
I like Untangled, but I don't know about on Cernif.
It is such an interesting move, though. I feel like it has a lot of potential in the future, but yeah, it's something that's kind of niche. You know, if you are running into Thames that run Cage, I mean, some games you might not even use it. So
True. Yeah.
So this mix is a threat moment.
This mix is a threat. So who are we gonna see swapping? I'm guessing Cernif. Oh, we see Volfi swapping him.
Apparently I've done something wrong by leaking Flowmaster's secret tech.
So we see Crystal Spikes going on the Volarend, as we saw, and we see Volarend actually living here, but
wow,
Sandstorm coming out from Volfi just to make sure that
good
Volarend dies. A good play by Arkham, making sure not to leave any loose ends.
I just love the animation of just when Volfi just evades a team elusive, it just sits there.
Yeah.
doesn't even take damage. It's just like, oh, Sandstorm, no big deal, you know.
Pretty much. So also Tut-Pup has no Cage here to trap in that mix, so mix can easily swap out here. I am expecting a Cerny swap in to or not Cerny swap in, but a Rise swap in to kind of deter Cerny from swapping in. But even then, Cerny looks really good on this board. Just attacking the Volfi slot. And even if Rise swaps in, right, Volfi threatens it out. So Cerny Volfi looks really good into Tut-Pup's team right now.
Yeah, here he comes. Yeah. So I think with this particular setup, you can just sit there and get to where you have bush synergy, Watercutting Lily into the Volfi slot.
So
you could even Dust Vortex into.
I was gonna say we could see if Volfi is faster than the enemy Cerny, right?
It probably isn't against a Watercutting Lily unless it uses Plague.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing, though. The Volfi's at -1 speed, so there's absolutely no way this
yeah.
Volfi's outspeeding the Cernif.
No. Cernif has pretty high base speed.
Yeah.
So I think that I often forget.
2 base speed less than Naga. And Drakash really can't swap into this board.
No, I think that Tut Pup's Volphy is in a pretty good spot at the moment.
Yeah.
Even if Arkham brings in Volarend, I still think that, you could bring in Rise, or just even attack into Volarend and lower its health even more.
Yeah, so the problem with Arkham and this Drakash is that Drakash can't do anything unless it swaps in, right?
I'm a bit confused as why he swapped Cernif out there. It seemed like it was in a really good position.
I think he was making a read there. But we do see a Cernif swap in, so he was predicting the Cernif swap for sure.
Yeah.
We see Duff Vortex him out.
That's a pretty decent chunk. I mean, 16%.
So here's the thing, though. Now Arkham has a very good switch in to Drakash to get hold up, I think. That being in the Cernif slot. While Volarend can do a Noxious Bomb or Feather Gatling into Volphy. Does Rise have Roar? Rise does have Roar. So I would not keep Cernif in here.
Yeah, so I feel like if you're Tut Pup, you could even use Plague into the Cernif slot and trap the Drakash.
Yeah. If you're in edge Drakash swapping.
But even if you leave Cernif in, then you're still trapping Cernif on the field with Rise.
Yeah, but what if he did this? What if he swapped Drakash into the Vola slot and Wuckled the Volphy? Volphy then gets threatened out next turn. Because if he loses Volphy, Mix just goes ham on his team, right? So he can't lose Volphy. Ooh, I don't know if it's as bad of a spot for Arkham as we think it is. Although he will tank a -1 attack on Cernif, right? Which is bad. But he would get Drakash in safely. So let's see what he does here. He brings in Drakash. I don't know if this is the right play. Because he's going to get trapped by Cernif. Or he doesn't, though. Oh! Tut Pup maybe...
Okay.
Tut Pup maybe wanting to just kill this Vola right here, right now. And he Fire Nado's which slot, though? Fire Nado's the Vola slot. Yeah. So he did want to kill the Vola right there, right then. But Drakash now has hold up. And he did not use Roar.
Well, there's not much that Drakash can do against Volphy. It doesn't have Fire Tornado ready yet.
That's very true.
And Hellfire is not going to hit. Hellfire Sandstorm aren't going to hit Volphy.
That's very true. So maybe we see a Volphy swap in, or a Drakash swap in, and then not Drakash, a Cernif swap in, then double out into Volphy to bait out the Roar or something. But then he has Drakash on the field. So yeah, I think Volphy swapping was the best here. And then swapping in Cernif into the Drakash slot, maybe.
Drakash. Yeah.
Yep. And then he plagues the enemy Volphy. Keep him in.
Yeah, so now, with that in mind, I think that Tut Pup might want to swap in Cernif for Volphy.
Yeah.
But then it's risky if Arkham decides to leave Drakash in, but I don't think he will.
I don't think Arkham will leave Drakash in either. Yeah, he goes with a safe play. Swaps out Drakash for Cernif.
We'll see if Volphy comes out on Tut Pup's side.
Oh, we actually see Rise swapping out. So Cernif is not threatened at all on this board.
To buff Volphy is pretty decent.
That's true. But
he kept Volphy in.
Yeah, he did keep Volphy in. And Volphy's at very low stamina. This could be the turning point for Arkham right here.
I feel like you have to swap Volphy out there.
I feel like you do too, because you can't risk the Cernif coming in. And now what he can do is he can actually Dust Vortex the Kinu slot, right? And to cover the Rise coming in.
Yeah, I mean, you could just leave Kinu in. But yeah, the thing is, then Volphy's gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Kinu could stay in to get a Revitalize off.
Volphy also has Bush, which could could come in handy because that would push off the trap.
That's true. So a double onto Volfi would be good then, huh? So we actually see a turbo choreography coming out from the Kinu. Ah, so we do see the bush come out.
Get rid of that trap. That's a good move, I think. Because now it's going to tank the...
So we see Water Cutting Lily. And then we see play come out though from Arkham, meaning that this Volfi is most likely going to die.
I trapped it again. Yeah.
Yep. And no regen. Meaning
And
that...
it's exerted.
Yeah, that's true. He has Drakash in the back though, so Kino can't even Hypno here. I think that Arkham's in a very good spot now. The fact that Tupup did not swap out that Volfi, and Volfi just overexerted, it's a yikes, I think. Yes, Volfi did overexert.
Crucial turn, I think, when he left Volfi in. He definitely needed to swap out to, just in case of the plague.
Yep, exactly.
I feel like handcuffs as an item it's like it seems like it was made just for Volfi. Like it was.
It does seem like it was made just for Volfi. I am surprised we do not see a Drakash swap in. I don't really agree with that play.
I guess you could always swap Drakash in now, but yeah.
Yeah, but you lose out on a turn of Water Cutting Lily, right?
Kinu can also revitalize Volfi before the damage.
Exactly, which is why... Well, Volfi wasn't going to die anyway, but Volfi could have possibly died next turn. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't even swap in Drakash still. Interesting. He Plagues though again, bringing Volfi down to 52.
This time it's not gonna. The trap isn't gonna matter, and now he can swap Volfi out safely.
But can he? That's actually a good question. Can he really swap Volfi out safely? Yeah, he can. Never mind, Cerny. But now he can swap Drakash in, right?
I feel like for Tupup, it wouldn't be a bad move to swap Rise in here for Volfi. And Hypno. Well, I guess he could bring in Drakash for Volfi.
Oh, he can Hypno
Arkham's
lock
Twitter.
here. He can Hypno the Cerny again if he Plagues with Volfi.
Yeah, but Drakash, like his Volfi's low on stamina. I think maybe Drakash comes in here for Volfi on
That's
Arkham's side.
Fair. That's very true. This is a big ol'...
It's one of those classic situations of people playing chicken a little bit and trying to decide, okay,
Yeah.
what's my opponent gonna do? Are they gonna stay in? Do I swap out? You know?
Yeah,
but we'll
okay.
see.
These are one of the times where it is rock, paper, scissors. Prodigy.
Bush again.
We see another bush, actually. Which is
I like
interesting.
that play. But it was very risky, I think, for Tupup.
Uh-oh.
Very risky.
Uh-oh. That could be very bad for, Tupup.
Yeah, with synergy as well.
Yep. And now it has the whole thing of he can swap Drakash in pretty safely here. No, he can't, because, well, Volfi didn't OX.
Tupup has to consider bringing his Cernif in at some point.
Yeah, it does. Because if Arkham Cernif gets too bushed up, then it's a GG, because all Tupup has is, physical attackers, right?
I guess Tupup has Rise, which is a pretty good Cernif counter, even with.
Yeah, but
boosted
yeah, for
defense.
Embers, but not for Fire NATO at this point.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tupup is not in the best spot, I think. But Arkham isn't in a great spot either. But I just think Tupup's in a worse spot than Arkham. So we see Kinu swap out. We see Rai swap in. I doubt that Arkham read this. If Arkham read this, then just like 20,000 head. So you see Cernif swap in. So you Water Cutting Lily most likely going on the Cernif, and I do believe it's Colosity. That's my guess. And it is Colosity indeed. So here's the problem. This Rise technically can't stay on the field.
Yeah. I think Keanu comes in for Rise. And
I
then
agree with you.
Cup starts to do exactly what Arkham's been doing for the last few turns, and then we sit here and go to turn 30, and whoever has the highest health wins.
Here's the thing though. I think Arkham could have ended this a lot earlier if he swapped in Drakash at one point with that Hypno stuff. I really do.
Drakash being on Arkham's side gives him more options.
And I think he completely disregarded it. I think he got too scared. Unless we see Drakash swap in here, and we do. Now, does the Cernif's Water Cutting Lily go into the Cernif spot? That's a real question.
So he's played Keanu.
Keanu does have Grease, and Frond Whip goes on to Volphy, and not the Drakash. So we get to see a, Hellfire plus either Plague or a Dust Vortex.
One thing that Tut Pup could do with his Cernif is use Push. Bring in Volphy. It's not going to get hit by Hellfire. Use Push. I mean, you'll get hit by Hellfire originally, but it's got +1 special defense, and you'll get synergy to get more special defense and get some health back.
Huh. Let's see what happens here.
Maybe I shouldn't say that. Because now we're gonna have to sit here until turn 30. Yeah.
So we see Volphy come in.
I don't think it would have mattered. I think it was gonna happen regardless.
Let's see if the Volphy Plague does not go first though. Yikes. Yeah. This is gonna be turn 30, huh?
I don't know. If this turns into one of those games, I feel like it's looking quite good for Tut Pup.
I think so too. Huh.
I really think it's so funny how, the Nox got hit by the Nerf hammer, but Cernif didn't, and Keanu didn't, and this is just evidence that something needs to change with this game to avoid games like this.
Yeah.
Apparently, Yet voice chat sounds happy at the turn of events. Oh, here we go, Cernif coming back.
Yeah, Tut Pup definitely has an advantage now. That's very true.
I mean, I think that Arkham's Cernif being... Oh, wow. Putting Mix into Puppet Master, that was pretty good.
Yeah, but he has Sandstorm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why I think Arkham should have banned the Keanu inside of the Grumper, or not Grumper, but Grandpa, like I said.
Yeah. Keanu just makes the whole Volphy Cernif combo even more disgusting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Tiki, I see that you're making a quick snack. I might do the same. I haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, this is gonna be a long one, folks. Strap in.
Yeah, holding out for the end of the game.
Pretty much. Do we see Sandstorm? But now Arkham can definitely not win, right?
I mean, the Volphy's gonna take a bit of damage here, but it's just not.
No.
It's not sustainable. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no we all know how this match is gonna be going down.
I don't know if it actually gets to turn 30 at this rate.
What? Wait, sorry, I zoned out.
Oh, it's okay. I don't know if this match will actually get to turn 30 at this rate.
I don't think I'll get to turn 30 either.
Because Rise can pressure the Cernif on Arkham's side. I think that he needs to deal with his Drakash. Once he deals with Drakash, then
yeah, Rise just takes it all.
I don't know if
Oh, that's a frail Rise. Holy cow.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I would have left Rise in there against Drakash Cernif, because you're gonna take damage from Drakash, and ideally you wanna bring in that Rise to snare the Sweatband when you predict a Cernif attacking. So yeah, it's I'm not sure what I would have done instead. Maybe brought Kinu in the other slot and used Earth Move on Drakash.
Well, Knight just has to bring in Cernif though, right? And he does not wall them actually. Oh shit, god damn it.
And he can't Hypno, so yeah, I think it would have been better for him to leave Wolfie in previous turn. Use an Earth Move, force Drakash out, and then bring in Rise.
Oh boy.
So who knows,
shit, here we go again.
Might go a bit longer, I don't know. Let's see.
Fuck, dude. I'm gonna go do like a load of laundry at this rate. Not really. I signed up for this, so I am legally bounded by this. Not really, but I'm gonna just say that I am to make myself feel better about it.
At this stage, yeah.
Yeah. See how fire come down, King. This should do a decent amount of damage though. Ooh, shit. Wait, hold up. Did he double up into Kinu? Hold up.
He did.
Hold up. Wait, what? Did Tup just throw?
I don't think so necessarily. I think that if he uses Tup uses Water Cunning Lily and Dust Vortex into Drakash, or even Sandstorm might kill.
But Cernif kills Wolfie 1v1. And it kills
1v1,
Rise 1v1.
Does it?
Yeah, it's at +4 special defense. Did Tup just throw? Did he make it come down to a 50-50?
I don't know if this game's over.
I don't think it's over either.
I think Tup needs to force this Drakash out as soon as possible. Yeah, so Wolfie comes in, dies to Water Cunning Lily. Oh, Plague. That's alright.
Okay, that was a good play by Tup.
Yeah, because he saves the Dust Vortex.
Oh yeah, Cernif can revitalize Wolfie, you're right. You are right.
Now you just double into Drakash.
Yep, okay. I see it now. Yeah, and +3 to special defense is way more than enough to get rid of, or to save Cernif from a Fire Nado.
I agree, Tim. Revitalize is so broken on Cernif. And honestly, Bush is just broken in general. It doesn't need synergy.
This is why I said, though. Why did he ban the Grandpa? I think a lot of people are saying that, though. So did you see the Water Cunning Lily come out from Cernif? Bringing your cash down to 57, and Wolfie's Dust Vortex should bring him down to 0? Yep. We see Revitalize coming out onto Cernif itself.
Rise comes in, yep.
Yep, and now Cernif is walled.
boost that defense. I do think settling is better than velocity. But yeah, unfortunately, I think that the game was punched out. So yeah, we're gonna see Arkham after winning quite a few games. He finally goes down. So we'll see if Pup keeps playing, or if they bring in their last player, or if Paradox decides to swap for someone else.
I want to see Trot 5-0 someone again.
I want to see him play Fortnite. We didn't even get to see it on the field last game.
Yeah, you're right. Can you hear background noise right now?
A little bit. It's like just kind of like a humming, faint humming in the background.
Ah, damn. I think my AI that filters that background noise is messing up a bit. Yeah, okay, so 3-2 right now. We will see what happens. We will have to see what happens. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah. There we go. Honestly, I want to see Tort played again. That would be so cool. Honestly,
I like Tort a lot. It's just unfortunate that it's not amazing in this meta right now, but I think that it will be better later.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think Nagai's is gonna get hit so hard by the next island.
Oh, it's gonna get demolished.
I'm a bit worried that Size Munch is going to become extremely overpowered in the next island. Because Size Munch is so strong. The only thing that's stopping it at the moment right now is the types that are so common in the meta.
We have Versier versus... I've never heard of Versier before, but I've definitely heard of SNR Plat coming in with some spicy stuff. Adora Boros, Valash, and Rolder.
All right.
We actually see Tataru coming out from Versier.
Oh, Tataru. It's an interesting Tem to run.
We see it. Oh yeah, Plat always instabans Vola.
I mean, he's got so many toxic Tems, it's a pretty easy decision. Might actually get to see in Nagai's one of these games.
Yeah, we might be able to. Also, yeah, Pig is not bad. Pig plus Naga is a very good lead, Umar. But yeah, we see the Naga getting first picked actually. Also, good night, Crater. So we'll see what we see from Versier. I really like this first pick Naga from SNR's side.
I mean, what stops Versier from picking Grumper here?
That's a good question. Oh, Rolder. Rolder does.
Oh yeah, true. Wow.
Yeah, Rolder stops it big time actually. So, he actually
if he
picks his
picks
own
Grumper now,
Naga. Yeah, if
if
he
he
picks
picks
his,
Grumper now, it's slower. So I'm
it is
confused.
slower.
If you're
Then
gonna
he would just
Grumper, why Naga?
what? Yeah, I think Gaialis would be a better pick here. But even if he does pick Grumper still, he has to swap out Naga anyway, right?
Well, it looks like he did pick Gaialis.
But then that gives him the opportunity to lead Nid and then swap in Rolder next turn.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah, this essentially forces Naga out, which then means Gaialis would be slow if SNR leaves his Naga in.
So all he has to do actually, Versier is very weak to this open. If SNR leads or doubles up into the Naga slot with Beta Burst plus Toxic Ink, something is going to take a lot of damage. And then he can either Psy Surge or Psy Surge and Narc hit the next turn and kill it.
I think SNR's banned Grandpa because of all the things that it hits hard, and I agree with that choice.
I agree with that too.
One of my favorite setups in this game is having Adora Boros and Naga out at the same time and being able to use Fury and Psychic Collaborator both with Synergy and with Synergy Master. It's some insane damage.
Yeah, that's very true. Dude, yeah, that's so true though. Synergy Master with Naga's
boost.
Fury plus Psychic Collab.
It's insane. Yeah. I love Adora Boros. I've been really trying to make it work, and I can't find the team for it at the moment, but it's such a cool TEM, and I really enjoy playing it.
Yeah.
So let's see if he decides to do what you said, where he doubles into Naga with the Toxic Ink.
Well, he doesn't even have to double into Naga. He could Madness buff also, which could be better in the long run.
I don't know if he runs Madness buff. It's so hard. There's so many competing moves for Naga.
Well, I run on my tournament Naga. I run Beta Burst, Madness buff, Lullaby, and Naga's Fury.
So you don't run Psy Surge.
Yeah, I don't think there's a need to.
That's true. It's not as needed as on ladder.
Yeah. Like, you're gonna be swapping out against Grumper anyways. So why are you using Psy Surge? Can't use it against Anna here. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is gonna be very interesting. There's a lot of mind games going on in this first turn.
So now it comes out for Rolder, right? Oh no, Grumper.
Grumper comes in, so this is the whole thing. Does he Beta Burst? So he Toxic Inks. So putting that 2 poison on that Grumper. And he Madness buffs. That's gonna be huge late game, I think. Especially once this Grumper is taken out.
I feel like in this position, he's definitely gonna have to take Naga out, but yeah, he needs to deal with Grumper to be able to.
SNR doesn't have a good swap into this though.
Well, what if he uses? You imagine a Thunder Strike or a Crystal Bite going into that slot, and Rolder resists both.
I don't think we see a Crystal Bite though. I think we see a Hook Kick.
Hook Kick Thunder Strike, that could be a really good move for Versier.
Yeah. I think Hook Kick plus Lightning Thunder Strike.
It pretty much ensures a lot of damage being done to whatever comes in. Yeah, so Rolder comes in.
Also, everyone giving me shit for calling him SNR. He told me to call him that. Or he said I could call him that at one point. So Grumper actually, so we do see the Hook Kick. Oh, but Roller's a bulky boy. And Grumper being brought down to 51% health.
That Rolder is within double gash range. So I think it probably will come out.
Yeah, and Roller is pretty slow, right?
Yeah.
So we're
Well,
not going to be seeing a Goring go
Alice.
first.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know if we're going to see a Goring come out from Wolder or not.
Apparently, a lot of people in the chat who are really close enough with Senor Platt to call him Matt.
Okay. You know what? Time out all the above.
You know, I think if you're a Versier, you could probably safely use
Oh!
Crystal Bite.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
Cage.
That thing learns Cage?
I
Oh!
had no idea.
Yo. So we see Roller go down, but now it has a switch into Naga, which does have Side Surge up if it carries it. And we see Spore come out. Grumper being brought down to 34% health and Poison Ticks.
This Grumper is definitely within range to get killed by anything, really.
Oh, and he brings in Platymus, has the Urshel, and he has nothing in the back to tank an Urshel. And Grumper goes down no matter what. Oh my lord, that was such a good play by SNR.
He set himself up for his Naga to come back in and sweep. Yeah, the cage on Roller. Funny.
Pat must be up there for the most consistent player. I would have to agree with you. Gold.
I like how he always pioneers a lot of strategies that no one else is running.
That's
And
very
I feel
true.
like he has really mastered the toxic synergy. He definitely is a really good player at the toxic time.
Yeah.
I used to play against him, like, we used to just get games nonstop, and we used to play against each other all the time. And at the time, I was running, like, 5 wins, and it was always very, like, it looked like I was way ahead, and he would still find a way to either beat me or put me really close to losing, and we would have some really intense games.
Aqua Bullet Hell coming out, killing the Grumper here. Okay, guys, I'll start calling him Matt. Jesus Christ. And we see a Bark Shield coming out from Nid. Wow, so Platymus is going to be taking no damage from this Gaialos, and neither is Nid. This Gaialos might as well just leave. You see Kino coming in. I don't really see a point buffing up this Gaialos. Versier's in not the best place, I think.
I mean, he's got his own Naga, but what does that Naga do against any of
Anything.
Platt's team?
Yeah. He gets a free
I mean,
Urshel
gross.
into... Yeah, Matt gets a free Urshel into Versier.
Yep. Adore Boros has such good special defense as well, so all he needs to do is take out Gaialos, and Adore Boros is actually so good against
You're
a lot
right.
of that team. Assuming he doesn't run Strange Vest like I was, which was
That's
not a
true.
good decision. Yeah.
Strange Vestadoro gets eaten up by any wind tem.
Oh yeah, it's horrible against any hyperkinetic strike. It's just a one shot.
So we actually see the Aquatic Whirlwind coming out onto the Gaialos. Maybe a double up on a Platymus. Beta Burst doing a decent amount.
Wow, it did. Yeah.
And Crystal Bite chunking it too. Not enough though. We do see the allergic spread coming out. Putting 2 ticks of poison on Gaialos and 3 ticks of poison on Kinu. Gaialos being brought down to 21.2% and Kinu being brought down to 81.1%. I'll find something to poke fun of. There are a lot of things about me that you can poke fun at. You just have to find them. Pretty easy to find though. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know what Versier does here. He brings out his Naga here.
I think this kills, doesn't it? No, not
Yeah,
quite.
as long as
Yeah.
oh, because he didn't have Crystal Bite out, right? So that didn't matter. So that Naga switch was a very good switch, very safe one too.
And now Naga can just, yeah. And here comes the Doroboros. We might get to see the
Ooh,
the
baby.
the wombo combo.
Oh, it is 2 hold though, so we're probably gonna see a Toxic Ink plus Fury here.
Yeah, well, we might see Beta Burst. I don't personally. I don't run Toxic Ink on a Doroboros. I run Beta Burst, Toxic Gas.
Oh
Psychic
yeah, it
Cloud
got
with
Toxic
the
Gas
Inner
now. I
Spirit.
forgot.
Yeah,
It
so
got Toxic Gas.
all he has up at the moment, if he doesn't run Toxic Ink, is Beta Burst, and then next turn he'll have Psychic Collab and Toxic Gas. So yeah, I think what he'll do is Beta Burst into the Gaialis slot, or he might double. Let's see.
Yeah, you're right. So
I
honestly,
think
I'm trying to
he can pretty
see.
safely hit Gaialis now with
Yeah.
Beta Burst, either of them.
I'm trying to see how Versier can bring this back, but I'm not really seeing a way.
I don't think he can, because as long as Platt has Naga out there, it's going to be faster than his Gaialis, which means that Gaialis is never going to get another move off.
Yep.
Which,
Yep. We see Kiyoaki living on 1 health, but the poison will take it out. When we see Baybird going on Pig Epic Brain down to 78. This is gonna do nothing to Naga. Yeah, only does 15%. Kiyu getting taken down.
here combo time, I think. Psychic Collaborator. He might not use Fury because Naga resists it.
Yeah, you're right.
But
Well,
I'm
does he
almost
bring
certain
in
he's
Naga
gonna
though?
use
He probably
Psychic
does bring in
Collaborator.
Naga. I think... What could he have done there? He has to somehow get his Gaialis and his Naga out on the same board. But
Yeah.
even then, he still loses, I think. No, what he does now is that he actually Psychic collaborates the Naga and Beta Bursts it, right?
Yeah. But Pig can most likely bamboozle now faster than Adoraboros.
You think?
Oh, he runs Toxic Ink. Okay.
Interesting. So we see the Toxic Ink come out from Dorboros. Oh, because the both Nagas are on the field, duh. And we do see Naga's Fury coming out, Synergy Mastered on the Pig Epic, completely destroying it. But Naga does tank the Fainted Curse, which could spell its doom here. I don't think it will. I think it tanks it still.
Yeah.
It tanks it.
Yeah, so now you just, I don't know. It depends on, because Gaialis is fast now.
Yeah, so what you do here is you swap out Dorboros for Nidrazil, and then you let the Naga die. If they don't kill the Naga right here, then you win. Or then you kill the Gaialis, right, and you win. And then if they go for the Doroboros, or if they go for the Naga, then Naga's off the field, and then Nidrazil and Doroboros both outspeed Gaialis and Naga, right? Actually, wait. Can the Doroboros 1v1 Naga? I think, yeah, it can. Because that's Toxic Ink.
And it has really high special defense.
Yeah,
But
and it has really high special
If I were
defense.
Versier, you'd probably want to attack you'd attack Adoraboros with Crystal Bite, and you'd Beta Burst your Naga against SNR's Naga, because Versier has Speed Arrow.
That's true. Well, but SNR's Or Matt's. Ugh. Matt's Naga could be 9 SV instead of 1 SV, right?
That's true. Yeah, we don't know their SVs. This one could be faster than Versier's.
So let's see what happens here. Who does he swap out? He doesn't swap out any of them. Adorbo's taking a lot of damage here.
I'm not sure why you use Sharp Sebs there instead of Crystal Bite. Because Crystal Bite's going to be faster anyway than anything.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a bit of a weird play. And then we see Naga with the Babers is going to do a lot of damage. Ooh, bring it down all the way to 34%.
Wow.
Yikes.
Crystal Bite might not have been up, actually, now that I think about it. Because he did use it on Nidrasil a couple turns back.
Oh! No,
Or
it was up because he double gashed before he swapped out.
Yeah.
It was indeed up. Yep, now he just swaps out for the 3-0. And Plaid is going to be taking his team down to the final person, which is Tub Pup.
I'm a bit disappointed we didn't get to see Psychic Collaborator. I would have.
I'm a bit
I would like
disappointed
to see
too,
that animation.
honestly. GG's. So it's 2-4 right now. Can we see a reverse sweep from Yep? Not a reverse sweep, but a comeback. Bite doesn't kill, by the way. Ooh, that's pretty sick. I think Tut team loses to Plat. Not 100% sure. But I would have to see Tut's team again.
See who, if Paradox decides to. Is there a player on Paradox we haven't seen yet?
We've seen Trot. We've seen. I'm trying to think of the people who are left. Trot. Arkham got beat.
Yeah.
PDX has one more player, really. Trot, Plat, and Mystery Man. Ooh, baby. Oh yeah, it probably is Vossi, huh?
I think we'll see Vossi or someone else come in, just to give them a chance to play. So we'll get to see a team we haven't seen yet, hopefully.
Vossi went to bed? Ooh. Causation. Oh, that would be sick.
It'd be funny to see Alto break out an Adore Boros.
Okay, let's see what we have going on here. Oh, who will it be? Tup Up versus who? It'll be SNR Plat versus Tup Pup.
Who learned that Rolder learns Cage today? Me. Yeah, I had no idea.
I had no idea either.
So I guess we're not going to get to see Paradox's last player of this game. If Tut Pup wins, we might see them come out in a future game. So, we'll spectate.
As they are in a game.
So we saw a Cernif picked on the part of Tut Pup after a Nidrasil ban.
So
which makes sense. I mean, Cernif is pretty decent against Plat's team, apart from against
Except for like,
Mashuk and Adoraboros.
and Platimus in my opinion, because Platimus can apply a lot of pressure with Urishul.
Yeah.
Okay, so we see him covering the Adoraboros. Oh, whoa, what? Adoraboros plus Valash. Actually, I can see this. Also, SNR Ply is running Valash with no Kinu on his team, which is very interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. So he's got Grandpa here.
Yeah, he does have Grandpa here. I really want to see a Kinu ban come out from SNR, unless he thinks he can deal with the Kinu. So he bans Naga.
I think maybe here for Plat, the play is to ban Rise.
I think the play is either ban Rise or ban Kinu.
Yeah, maybe Kinu actually, because he has a lot of ways of dealing with Rise. He's got Platimus rolled or
maybe he has more ways of dealing with Kinu though, right? I just know that he shouldn't let both go through. Not like Arkham let both go through.
Oh, he did let both go through.
He let both go through. Okay.
I mean, there is some logic to that. I think that Wolfie is a threat to a few tens on his team. It's a threat to Rolder, Grumper, and it can tank Valash's crystal moves.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. We'll have to see. SNR knows, Matt knows his team the best, so we'll have to see what goes on. Yeah, I think he knows it the best. Rising can do less to slow toxic focused teams than they do to most other teams. Oh, I see. That makes sense, actually. I can see that, Ali. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for telling us that. So now he definitely picks Acronox here, though. Oh, but Acronox doesn't do anything against this team. But neither does Ukama. That's actually, like...
Yeah.
Tup Pup kind of has a throwaway pick now, like, or in the fact of his last pick literally doesn't have any impact on the game, pretty much.
I mean, Ukama does hit Grumper super effective, and it hits Valash with 1x, but yeah, it's going to get resisted pretty hard by Plat and by Adoraboros and by Mashuk. Unless it runs Blizzard. Maybe if he runs Blizzard on Ukama.
Well, no, actually, I think Acronox is the best here, though. Because it walls Valash somewhat. But then again, though... Oh, wait! Oh, wait, I can't say anything, but there's secret sauce to, Senor Plat's, Valash, I believe.
Okay.
There's some secret sauce.
I guess we'll find out first turn whether he's, physical Valash.
No, it's not Rend. It's not Rend, Flowmaster Tim.
I think I know what that means. We'll soon see.
I heard that Crystal Spikes is a pretty niche mood. Dude, it is. No one runs it anymore, am I right? It's running Glass Blade on... Oh, there you go. So we see Crystal Spikes going onto the Stony right away, chunking it down to 65. We see Wuckle coming out. Onto the Vlash, bringing it down to 67. That's a tanky Vlash. Tanking both of those decently well. Meaning that this Cernif cannot stay in another turn. If it does, it dies. So now I can see why he didn't really care about the Kinyu, right? Because now there isn't the best swap in. Something is gonna get hit with a lot of damage, and he can always just target the Grandpa slot. Right? If he does target the Grandpa slot, and he can't really switch Kinyu into the Shiny slot. If he does, Kinyu could take a lot of damage.
I really like Ouroboros here in this position because by leaving it on the field, you're able to just let it get the holds off and get Inner Spirit ready, and you could use that against Acronox.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Inner Spirit.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have any Psychic Collaborator partners, but I guess we don't even really know if he runs Psychic Collaborator because he didn't use it last game. So
he might not run Psychic Collab, honestly. It's very possible.
I mean, because Naga is the only other mental in his team, so he must think that most of the time he's not going to have Ouroboros and Naga out at the same time. One of them might get banned, in which case Psychic Collaborator is a dead move.
Yeah, so we see Starting swapping on and Rise swapping in. I'm guessing that he doubles up into the Grandpa slot. We see Turbo come out from Grandpa, though.
Decided to attack into Rise, which actually
attacks into Rise.
Fair,
whoa, yeah, that's a
damage.
25%. Hold up. Intoxicate into Grandpa. Doing... Those poison ticks are going to do a lot of damage in the long run. Cernief is already at 20%. I think he's just going to keep Rise out on the field until it dies, to be honest. Oh yeah, Grumper can indeed come in gold. You're right. Grumper has a very free swap in right now.
I mean, not necessarily, because Ouroboros' Inner Spirit hits Grumper really hard.
No, I'm saying Grumper on Matt's side.
Oh, for Plat, yeah. I was thinking, for some reason I thought that Top-Up had Grumper. Oh yeah, okay, so I'm thinking Acronox. Yeah, if he does decide to bring Acronox in. But yeah, Grumper is great here, I think. Maybe in the place of Valash, or even for Ouroboros, if he thinks that he's going to play a win move there.
Yeah.
You could go Grumper Platimus, Grumper for Adoro, and Platimus for Valash to eat the fire move.
Yeah, you could. But I don't know if that's the best course of action, just because you would have Grandpa on the field. Then again, though, you had Grumpers threatening it out, right? So we see Acronox come in. He just leaves them in, flat out. Ouroboros is gonna tank this up, to be honest, considering that's 2 times effective. We see Seek Spikes go off on Grandpa, bringing it down to 41%. I think I know exactly what SNR's Valash does. Look at how much value he has gotten out of it. Just look at how much value he's gotten out of it.
I think he was really hoping that would kill Grandpa, because now he has to take Ouroboros out.
Like, he's just using them as throwaway leads. Maybe not Ouroboros as much as Valash, but I think he just uses Valash as a throwaway lead.
Yeah, and I mean, if it gets a few scavenger procs here and there, it stays in for longer.
Yeah. I bet he doesn't run Madness buff on it. I bet you 10-1 he doesn't.
What else would he run?
Ninja Jutsu.
Oh yeah, guess you could.
And Major Slash, possibly, to hit Earths. So I bet he doesn't use Dust either, because he has no Wind Tems on his team. I bet he doesn't have Dust or Madness buff.
I mean, Dust is still a pretty good move, even if you have no wind.
Not really.
It's still 3 prio, and presumably you have more special attack investment than physical attack.
Yeah, but Major Slash does just more, I'm pretty sure, because it's 150 base power. It's 2.5 times, or, yeah, 2.5 times more base power.
Right. So way more stamina.
Yeah, so we have Sunny coming in. Hopefully he's gonna... So he does swap out Valash, actually, because it overexerts. Brings in Mushuk, though.
He left a Doro in as well.
Yeah, he did. Toxic Ink's Kinu brings it down to 46%. Ali, I don't think he did sequence those swaps wrong, because if he didn't swap it like that, Cernif would be dead. Yeah, SNR looking to be in a very good position right now, looking at the health of Tup Pup. But if they do not kill Tup Pup here, or Tup Pup Cernif here, it's gonna go back to what? It's gonna heal 60% health right now, if he doesn't. So I'm guessing we see an Inner Spirit come out from Adoro or something like that?
I mean, Adoro's -1 speed, so,
Oh, you're right, you're right.
Maybe an Urushiol, from...
An Urushiol would do a lot of damage to the Cernif, actually, you're right.
Although it is already +1 defense, so it probably wouldn't die from Urushiol. He might bring in Equinox and use Bush.
Let's see, he revitalizes with Kinu onto the Cernif. He Urushiol's, yep. Oh my gosh, that did a chunk.
That definitely would have killed
Then
him.
we're gonna see Revitalize from Cernif onto the Kinu though. Are we gonna see Inner Spirit? No, we just see Tank. So that Kinu lives.
That's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage. The thing is though, is that Cernif dies from a double up.
Yeah, I feel like Cernif, the only option to keep it alive at this point for Tup is to swap in Acronox for Kinu and use Bush. And so...
it still dies to Tank though, I think. No, it should die to Tank.
It's got +2 defense.
It does have +2 defense, you're right.
He could have used Inner Spirit on Acronox just to... Oh no, he decided to swap out. So yeah, this is gonna take off those poison ticks. Turbo on Flash, but I feel like Cernif's gonna be able to recover.
Yeah, Cernif is gonna be able to recover here. That's why I don't really agree with the swapping out Goro there.
I think he should have just overexerted and doubled Cernif.
Yeah, I
Either
think
that or use Inner Spirit on Acronox.
Maybe he's not even worried about the Cernif. Which, honestly, that could be a very big part, because he has a Mushuk that might have tenderness. Right? And if he gets 2 tendernesses off on the Cernif, Mushuk 1v1s it.
Yeah, but also Cernif is one of the only things threatening Scrumper at the moment.
True.
I think he'll use another Urushiol.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely gonna see the Urushiol come out. And he doesn't have Bush now, which is nice.
Petrify.
Petrify into the Platymus. A good play, but an even better play by Plat. Switching out. And into the Platymus.
I think now you focus Cernif. Or
Yeah,
you
I
could even
think
focus.
I think Tut is putting too many resources into Cerny against the Toxic Sauce team. I think that's what's going on. He's putting so many resources into it, not really looking at the possibilities of using, using the rest of his team to its full ability. Yeah, and like I saw in chat, you just double the Acronox spot now.
True, but then he brings in Acronox again and uses Bush again.
Cerny might be dead by the time that happens.
I think he's going to double Cerny. It looks like he's doing that.
Yep, yeah, Cerny is dead. Most likely. Let's see what
I
he does.
agree with that move. I think if he had doubled Acronox, although it's not dead, he could just use Bush again.
Nope, he doubles up with a double Urshel and it's dead. The Quack is faster than Bush? Exactly. And Kinu is not fast enough to Hypno.
I like the Aquatic into Cernif. That's a good move. Because if he swaps out, it's going to hit anything really hard.
Yeah, you're right. It'll kill Grandpa.
Prize.
Yep,
Yeah.
and it will do a lot of damage to Acronox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Pup put way too many resources into keeping the Cernif alive. He put all of his eggs in one basket. Yeah, I think Tub Pup is slowly starting to realize that he's in a not so good spot right now. Yeah, we'll have to see what Tub Pup does. I don't really know what he can do here. He Urshels the Kino actually, and I'm guessing he Quack Whirlwinds the Cernif. Yep, and I think that's GG now. Because what, he only really has an Acronox and a Rise in the back, and Grumper kills two of those.
Yeah. But he's got this Grandpa. Probably has Hyperkinetic up.
Gold, I don't think it would be so cut and dry, because you have to remember that Plat played this Toxic team last meta still, right? So I don't think it'd be cut and dry as in Karth would counter him completely. It'd be a hard matchup for Plat, but Plat played 4 Toxic last meta too. So he actually swaps out Grandpa here into Acronox, probably hoping to bait a Urshel.
Uppercut was the move there.
And we see Sharp Brain coming out from Platimus onto the Acronox. So yeah, that was a good read by Plat. Or a good play, not even a read, it was just a good play in general.
Yeah, it's covering all your bases essentially.
Yeah. Are we gonna see a 5-0? Ooh, baby.
I think that when Grandpa comes in, it can hyperkinetic something and kill it. That's my prediction.
There we go. Plat does get damaged, but I don't think... Does it come in and get a kill? I don't think it does. There's Grumper.
I guess if he puts Grumper in the spot where the hyperkinetic hits, it's a 50-50.
Umar, I'm saying there's 5 Tems on SNR's side, and there's about to be 0 Tems on Tup Pup side. Right now it's 5-2. So he actually hypnos with Grandpa. Can we see? Can we? He doesn't even swap up Plat. Plat's a brave boy, huh? Yeah, he does get a kill with HKS here, huh? He does get a kill with HKS. Feels bad. Okay, yeah. This, honestly, there were some good games though in here. Tup Pup trying to last it out till the end. But yeah, these are some good games. Plat playing his heart out. So is Tup Pup. So is everyone on both sides. GG's to everyone, honestly.
We did see a lot of games, I think, this club war where someone was in a really hard position in the teams they were going up against. I think the players have played really well in general, and there have been a lot of games where it feels like from the ban phase that one player has a huge advantage. But that being said, there were some games where I was proven wrong. So it's been definitely interesting to watch.
Yep, that is very true. But yeah. Let's see, we get one last HKS from this Grandpa. Oh, wow, doing a lot of damage, actually. Oh, he gets 2 Tems down, baby. 3-0. 2 off. And we see a Thunderstrike coming out onto the Grandpa as Grumper exhausts itself.
So now, it's like anything he brings in is going to outspeed Acronox.
And Valash, the one that started it all, comes here to finish it off with one. Are we going to see the spice of... Does it have Major Slash or Ninja Jutsu? No, he just used the Crystal Spikes. God damn it.
He doesn't want us to know.
Yep. Okay, thank you everyone for coming out. We will be raiding someone though, okay? We will be raiding someone. We will first do this though. Congratulations to PDX. Very good games from both sides. Honestly, like, those are some good games to watch. Not all of them were fun games to watch, but a lot of them were good games to watch. But yeah, GG's everyone. And let's see who is, who are we gonna raid? You guys probably want more competitive Temtem. So I think the person we raid then is Adhikar.
Looks like he's streaming at the moment, so yeah. Hit him up.
Yep, GG's everyone. GG's. Unless, is there anyone else that you guys want to raid? I'm fine with raiding Adhikar. I'm more than fine with raiding Adhikar. He's my bud. We'll raid Adhikar. Let's raid Adhikar?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to hit that follow button if you want it, because I will be streaming more Club Wars matches. So if you want to get notified when those goes on, make sure to hit that follow button. And also, I will be... Oh yeah, thank you for shouting out Heron Crane. I also will be streaming more, or I'll be streaming Temtem tomorrow and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming out. And I hope everyone has a good day, and make sure to follow Adhikar, guys. See you guys later. Bye.
See you guys.